Now what? This doesn't qualify. This does not qualify. It's got to be huge breaking news. It's not just sniffing around Bill Belichick.
He's a voyeur at this point. This is getting weird.
It's not a big episode unless Amin's there.
That's true. But it is a pretty ridiculous episode.
I mean, it's a good find. The lost tapes and whatnot.
It's a great find. But you know what it is, Mike? It's a window into how the power dynamics at play. Because I think all this time we've been saying it's Jordan and she's running the stuff or whatever. And according to this episode, it's a Game of Thrones. It's not just her. Because Mike Lombardi's in there too. And he's got the ear and he's pulling. But at the same time, him and Jordan don't like each other. And so it's like a competition for the ear of the king. So it's a fast. How long is this thing gonna blow?
You know who comes out smelling like roses? Matt Patricia. In all this, he's even had a glow up of sorts.
He's skinny. Patricia is skinny, and
Patricia is actually a Chris Cody thing.
Yeah.
Are you regretful that you were there the first day that the Ballmer thing came out? I mean, because now it feels like you're part of this situation, and I would imagine this is burning some bridges for you professionally.
Absolutely nuked any relationship I have with the Clippers.
Yeah, and you didn't have any sense that was going to happen when you sat down that day, did
No,
you?
I didn't know what it was about.
I picture Amin walking into LA. Hey, what's up,
To
man?
be
How's it
fair,
going?
though, are you really that plugged in with the Clippers?
I used to be.
he was wearing a Clippers jersey in the episode, and it wasn't a costume. He wasn't faking it.
That was the second episode.
That was trolling.
What? No.
You're just supporting?
No, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I don't think that whispering wind qualifies for this episode. I mean, you've heard it. I have not heard the whole episode. I know what it's about, but this should only be for big national breaking news that's going to get everyone talking. The winds shouldn't blow for anything else.
It's not a big breaking news, but it is incredible context to a situation that we're familiar of. And through Pablo's reporting and also what's happened during the season. But now it's like, now I get what the power dynamics at play are, and that's what makes it really interesting.
I am told, Chris, that a lot of people here who don't know necessarily how they want to express their feelings toward Billy want to do so through song. That Jeremy says that he wants to say goodbye. He's not supposed to be in today. Nobody asked him to come in. Billy didn't ask him to be.
I definitely didn't ask for Jeremy.
Jeremy wants
today.
to serenade Billy with song on his last
he's
day.
not the
Is
only
this
one.
for me or for Jeremy?
He's not the only one. Well, this is a good question that you ask. We often ask it about Greg Cody. He too wants to serenade you with song, and I don't know if he's doing that for him or for you. Chris, have you heard Greg Cody's song?
Yeah, and it's a tearjerker.
Oh no, we're gonna start
It's a
sad.
Turker.
Strap it on, boys.
It's a Turker.
Strap what on?
Is something happening with Billy?
You became the Duke as you vaulted higher. A useless sound not hard to find. And our love for you, it was forged in fire every time you blew your mind. Skeptical at times, but nuance always knows how to make us feel without you on the show. You won't be back, Jack, our favorite hypochondriac. So bang those pots and pans into the sky to go where apple pies and eagles fly. It's hard to say goodbye. An onion won't be the thing to make us cry when it's hard to say goodbye.
I got no shot today. I got no shot of being any good today.
Billy, it was a tearjerker. That was a tearjerker.
And just tap into that emotional repression of yours.
It was the forged in fire for me.
Think of the bad moments.
Well, we've got top 5 things Billy won't miss Do you want to just start the show there?
No, we can build it. We'll get to that eventually. It's a couple of lies.
Okay. We also have, like, last night was a great night for old guy in sports. Actually, three old arms, because I'm going to throw Aaron Rodgers throwing a Hail Mary 70 yards in there.
That was crazy.
The biggest story from last night was Scherzer, but we'll get to all of that.
No, the throw from Aaron Rodgers.
What a great incomplete pass.
If he had 5 more yards, there's a guy in the back of the end zone open, by the way. If he had 5 more yards.
I think their odds in the AFC went down after watching that incomplete.
Dare I say, the greatest incomplete pass ever.
Ooh, I don't know.
He's had a couple of those.
That one was pretty incredible.
Watching Flacco go into the Wayback Machine and have the Bengals make it look easy was legitimately confusing to me. Like, wait a minute, how can Flacco be Burrow for a day? Nobody can throw for 350 yards unless they're trying to come from behind. What do you mean he's going to do it all game? Where everyone's going to be open whenever Flacco wants them to be open because no one can cover Jamar Chase. Oh, that's right, no one can cover Jamar Chase. How bad is Browning?
Chase had like 23 targets in this game.
Insane.
My favorite subplot of the NFL season is this war between Joe Flacco and Mike Tomlin that has been right under our noses, but we haven't paid attention to it, really.
Well, let's get to these sounds in a second, because how does it escape our attention that we found the guy that makes Mike Tomlin blink? Like, clearly Mike Tomlin is afraid of Flacco, and for good reason. Like, he's been trying to warn us. He's been telling us for years certain things won't allow you to get out of the stadium. One of them's Flacco. And get the sound here. We haven't played much of this sound of him, Tomlin, before this game, just warning us again and again. I don't want any part of Flacco. Please, you guys, don't injure Anthony Richardson. I don't want Flacco in the game. I'm afraid of the veteran quarterback.
You know, to be honest, it was shocking to me. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us, because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think enough of to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area. But that's just my personal feelings.
He's like, hey, Browns, why are you trading him to the Bengals? He said it before the game, and look what we saw.
That's
Thursday.
as afraid as we've ever heard that man. That man who's never had a losing season in our most violent sport, who wins every season. We've never heard of him afraid of anybody except clearly Joe Flacco. Like, make no mistake about it, because weeks before that he told us, yeah, we were trying to keep their other young quarterback healthy because we didn't want to see Flacco.
A year ago, we were playing in Indianapolis, man, and I commented to the guys that, you know, keep Richardson upright, don't put Flacco in the game, and, you know, Flacco ended up in the game.
Has someone ever won a comeback player of the year because of the comeback within one singular season? Like, he's just coming back from being with the Browns.
Do you know how hard it is to be better than the comeback player that you already are, that you won over a guy who died on the field and came back?
Talk about breathing life into franchises. That's what Joe Flacco does. A breath of fresh air, a breath of new life for NFL franchises.
Well, Tone, you're the Bengals now are in play. All of a sudden,
they're back, baby.
All of a sudden, we're all like 3-4. Can he get him to Burrow? Can Flacco just get him
the
to
bridge quarterback we needed, the 40-year-old.
He is the living embodiment of Marty McFly's parents kissing at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. Like, the Bengals season's disappearing. I was like, oh my God. And
I don't feel so good, Doc.
They kiss like, Earth Angel, Earth Angel.
I need Pablo to investigate the urban legend surrounding Joe Flacco's comeback player of the year win, because in league circles there was chatter that Joe Flacco was supposed to, if he won the award, give it to DeMar Hamlin in a nice moment. Wow. And as the urban legend goes, like, Flacco's like, get out of here. This is my award. I want it.
The only way to do better than win comeback player of the year over a guy who came back from the dead is to be able to come back from the Browns tried to wreck you at the end, and you wouldn't let it happen. And now you're out there roaming around, and your remains are literally haunting the man that we thought, Mike Tomlin, had no fear. Like, he's clearly haunted by the idea, you guys are really going to give him the division? I had it right there. I was going to be 5-1. We were going to bury the Bengals forever, and I can't, because now Flacco's roaming around in the division. And, oh, my God, they've got good receivers. Oh, my God, they gave all their money to the receivers. So I thought, I'm looking forward to talking to Dominique Foxworth about this, because the game I watched last night, I thought Jalen Ramsey played well, but T. Higgins is really good. And on that last play, T. Higgins is also paid a huge amount of money to make that last play. And I'd like to know, what is your measurement, guys, on the game Jalen Ramsey played last night? Because with the running game the Bengals had, their corners were on an island and didn't have a real chance. But the one that had no chance was whoever's guarding Jamar Chase. They decided Ramsey's going to be on Higgins, and he slowed Higgins, but not if Higgins and Chase are going to be what they've been for 3 seasons that are the reason the Bengals paid them all that money. Tony, yes or no? Jalen Ramsey played a good game last night.
Yeah, look, it's hard to play a good game when you're constantly getting beat by 2 really great receivers, right? Like as a corner, it's a failure position. It's like almost like hitting 300. You're going to fail 70% of the time, but you're still going to hit 300. As a good corner, you fail more than you succeed. But when you do succeed, it's big. It just feels like when you're getting 23 targets, that's usually never happening to somebody you're guarding.
I can't believe how easy the Bengals made offense look last night. But I do want to spend today making sure, while we celebrate old people, we celebrate as well that Billy Gill has a montage of things here, of sounds that we have.
It's a connection to old people there. What are we saying?
Well,
you are getting older.
Yeah, that sometimes you can't dispute what Tony said there. You can't dispute. You are getting older.
Am I?
Are you getting younger?
Some would say.
We have sound here of Billy's first words on the program as we go full nostalgic and biographical. Billy, do you have any recollection whatsoever? Do you have any context for this sound that we're going to play? Do you remember your first words on the program?
No.
Have you seen this? Do you know anything about what Chris Cody has dug up here that are your first sounds on the program?
I don't. I remember starting, though, off with a confidence that was uncommon to most people.
The vault, and it is a vault, okay? That's what Strug and Mary Lou Retton did, okay? The vault is the vault, okay? It's a form of the pommel horse without the handles. The pommel horse is only used in men's gymnastics.
Okay, so you can't vault off the pommel horse.
You can in female gymnastics, but the horse without the handles. It serves a dual purpose.
Sort of.
We need to get to the bottom of this. I cannot have this leaking into the next segment. Just tell me so that I can get it out of my brain and move on to other topics. Please, Billy, not sort of. Just tell me. Can you vault off the pommel horse? Does anybody do this?
They used to, but not anymore.
Okay. Not an answer.
They used to.
You can if you're an idiot. All right, moving on.
No. You want to keep it right here?
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
That's the first time he ever spoke. How many?
And then there was a texter. The next segment, people were not happy with Billy.
Texter writes in, and I believe we can all agree with this. Billy is the worst. So Billy just uttered a couple of syllables there, but already you have turned on him. His radio debut, I'm pretty sure that was Billy's radio debut on our program. He uttered about 4 syllables total.
I thought he was efficient and funny.
People don't want to hear from anybody who isn't us. They have turned on Billy for using the same microphone that they complain that Mike Ryan sometimes turns on.
Boy, things have gotten out of control around here in terms of how much the people speak. Billy, how many shows did you go without speaking? How many shows did
this week
did you work here?
2 years. Like
You used to have to earn.
Yeah, I was on a show for the 2+ years before I said anything. Sitting in the corner with Stevie, who could barely log the show, just answering the phone. Even that I'd have to type in the description.
That was quite the producer battle.
Stevie,
King of the Mountain. Who wants it, boys? You were Stevie.
And you guys you and Stugotz just wanted to be Stevie's friend the whole time. You're like, man, Stevie's so hot.
Came
I'm
to
like,
my
what's
wedding.
wrong with you guys?
I invited Stevie to my wedding.
I don't feel like it's fair to group me and you and Stugotz thought that Stevie was so hot.
He was so bad. But we just love the vibes. He's like, hey, man, I forgot to log the show today. You do you, Stevie. You're doing great.
You guys treated him also like Joe was like, how the ladies treating you, Stevie? And he's like, I live this weekend. Like, Stevie.
His dad was like friends with Stugotz. Stevie! Vibes.
He works hard.
Let's get some video here of people, and also more recently, right? Because Billy and Zaz had a moment the other day that I want to replay because I'm pretty sure it was the introduction of the mouthpieces.
The Dentec bucket mouthpiece, yeah.
Yeah, but let's play some of that back. Going back to the Clevelander, let's celebrate Beepo for a second. Something that we can make happen, right? This is it.
Bro, you take a turnover chain, you put on the Cuban flag beanie, and that's it. You walk out with Jorge, and that's it. Bing, bam, boom.
You gotta give him a Cuban flag beanie.
He's gonna quit before the fight even starts because he's gonna see what's up. As soon as you walk to the ring with him, you take a cazuela, you start making. Let me fight it. Hold on a second.
Pots and pans.
You just
Yes.
That's how you need to go to the ring. The day of the fight. You don't have this, Stugotz. You don't have this in you.
You just broke something.
Yeah, that's right. And guess what else is going to get broken? Nate's face is going to get broken. I'm telling you. Whoa.
All right, so I'm going to train with Guillermo.
I mean, how do I handle today weaving between sports and celebrating what is obviously an emotional last day for all of us without allowing the emotion to get in the way of an emotional last day for all of us?
Wait, whose last day is it?
Eve's.
I know. I saw that email. I was crushed.
Shout out to Eve Wolf. Thank you for your service.
We should have made this a Stevie Coltoon tribute show.
Oh, my God. I want to learn more about this Stevie character. I've never heard of him.
He's the best. Recently got married.
Ah, congratulations.
They tied him down,
invite?
huh?
You didn't get the invite back? Man.
Wow.
I was a little raw about that, to be honest. By the way, Kevin Nagandi says congratulations, Billy.
Thanks.
Ran into him last night. The great Kevin Nagandi.
Wow. Didn't we accuse him of putting a mirror over his bed?
Yeah. I think that was me.
Kevin Nagandi fucks.
We were saying who at ESPN most looks like they have a mirror over their bed.
but he looks at himself. He's just looking at his face.
No one's ever been more excited to see us in Bristol than Kevin Nagandi. It was awesome.
So nice.
With Victor Cruz, who could not have cared less about it at all. Bristol's so weird. I loved it. It's so weird. Just walk around the corner like, oh, there's Linda Cohn.
I went down a Billy rabbit hole last night on YouTube. Anyone else do that? Why? Now, I did stumble into a best of montage of myself, but I got a good.
You stayed on that one?
I got a
or?
good 10 minutes into like Billy montage.
You thought about quitting.
How long was that? 30 seconds?
No, it was like 19 minutes actually.
19 minutes.
When
of
I got
Best of
fired,
Chris?
someone made it. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, so this is all pre. Got it.
Can you tell me, Mike Ryan, if during your dinner with Kevin Nagandi, anything presented itself that made it more accurate what we've just alleged, that not only is Kevin Nagandi the person at ESPN most likely to have a mirror on their roof in their bedroom, but Amin's contention that it's not to have sex. It's just so that he can see himself in the mirror because...
Good morning, Kevin.
Because television is the vanity business. That's right. Looking good, Kevin. If you weren't up there, I'd love to have sex with you.
You had a
you
great
looked
day.
so good.
So
I don't know why I made him Joe Tess.
You look great. A couple things popped up from that interaction with Kevin Nagandi. I was, as a goof, we were at Joe's, and I was wearing a bib. And, you know... That's not cool when a guy, it's like that scene in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Like, I wish I wasn't wearing this effing shirt. Yeah. I was wearing a bib the entire time. And also, Dan, congratulations. You're at the point now where people ask, how's Dan?
Oh.
With that face?
Yeah.
Is Dan okay?
Like sucking teeth?
How's Dan?
The way people ask me about Poppy?
Yeah. How's Dan?
While you were wearing a bib.
While I was wearing a bib. I'm like,
just living high.
Yeah, I'm like, vibes are good. We got another deal. Can you believe it? It dawned on me that I used to work at the same company as Kevin Nagandi. I'm like, what a weird time. I don't feel like I was a member of ESPN all that much because we were working in the Clevelander. Yeah. But I'm like, yeah, it's my old coworker, Kevin Nagandi. It was weird.
Well, you've heard Billy walking around Bristol and walking around a corner and seeing Linda Cohn, I'm guessing, is like Billy's children walking around Disney World and seeing Mickey Mouse at the breakfast.
No, they're terrified of the characters. Yeah,
kids are scared of those things.
Kids are weird,
it's
man.
weird.
Yeah.
It really is. They talk about Mickey, Minnie. Then they go see Mickey, Minnie, start crying. It's like, Jesus.
My
Christ.
earliest, like literally, well,
Pass
one of my
anymore,
earliest
Bryce.
memories. Went to Disney World, saw Goofy, wouldn't shake his hand because I thought he was gonna bite it. I was 2 years old. And
I was
still
37
remember.
years.
Yeah. I know. I dropped,
joke,
I dropped
man.
the ball. I know.
I was in the Suns front office at the time.
This was last week.
Billy, I'd like to hear more stories about you as the person who didn't speak on air here for 2 years, walking around Bristol for the first time, feeling disoriented because you didn't actually feel that we were a part of anything that ESPN was, because we didn't feel like we belonged up there in the big leagues, I guess.
Well, those are different eras. We ended up at ESPN after I had already been talking. Bristol, though, was, I remember some Bristol memories that we had. We went on a trip that we had a meeting. Me and Roy showed up at the meeting. Chris was nowhere to be found. We then found him in the commissary, the eating area.
This is not true.
It's called the Calf.
This is not true.
With Tony Collins. And he's like, I found Tony Collins. We're doing a tour. We're recording some tent. And I was like, that's a good idea. You should do that. And then he went after me.
I missed the meeting?
Yeah. I forgot who. It was like
Just
the
found out
sales
now.
guy. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I wasn't invited to that one.
I remember that, and then I remember scurrying about our last day. It ended up being our last day ever in Bristol, but scurrying about our last day in Bristol to find a studio to do the Music Dome, because that was when we were
got in
doing
trouble
the
for
Music
that.
Dome. We did get in trouble for that. So the original idea was to do it at the Sports Center desk, and
The real one?
Yo, yeah.
DC2?
Yeah. And they were
can't get in there.
They
I mean,
were
they don't
very
know.
much like, you will not be doing that. And then we found like another studio, and they're like, you will not be doing that. And then we just kept walking around, and someone's like, hey, I work in the control room of a studio. You want to use our studio? And we're like, absolutely. And it was Matthew Berry's fantasy studio.
That was the
yeah.
puppet show.
And then we started playing with the puppets,
My
and we
guy
started
Dopp,
playing
man.
with
Daniel
all of the
Dopp.
knobs
I think
and
Daniel
everything.
Dopp, isn't he? Not to ruin our sources, I think he may have been the one that
Oh,
gave us
he's
access.
not there anymore. Is he still there? No,
Yeah,
he's
he's like one of
doing
their
a
he's
great
there.
job on Fantasy Focus.
one of their
Lifer,
main
yeah.
fantasy talents now.
Gonna be there.
How about that, man?
Way to
That's-
keep up.
Great
That's
guy.
my guy, man.
Dan, you met
It
Daniel
doesn't
Dopp?
seem like he is your guy.
Great guy.
No, Dom's my guy, man.
You never met Dopp, Dan? You would have loved
We're gonna talk to
Dopp.
Matthew
Would've
Berry in a
loved
little
him.
bit,
He
right?
engineered
You
our
love
show
Dopp.
in
Such
New
a
York.
nice
That's
guy.
my Dopp.
He engineered the live show.
Yeah,
in New
he
York.
was there. He loved working with us.
You got in trouble your first day on the campus?
No,
for
our last
using-
day ever. Yeah, it was, and we got some strongly worded emails after the fact for just crashing a set and not going through the proper protocol, and furthermore playing with puppets that we should not have been playing
But
with.
there is, it's like the Sports Center set is like a vault. I haven't been there enough to actually know these things.
So the real Sports Center set, the one they've had for the last like 6 or 7 years. So when you guys went, it probably would have been brand new. It's massive. It's very expensive, and you can't just walk in there.
But even if you work there?
Even if you work there, man, that's a crown jewel.
But Billy was an employee.
So is everyone else. You have to be an employee to be in the building.
I know, but why wouldn't employees be like, if somebody in our building, not that we're ESPN, but if you needed to walk into one of our studios, people would walk in and out of our studios. And like, is it because it's this precious heirloom that set is a recognizable set, and so no employee is allowed on it without like a frisking? And you got to go through an X-ray, and you got to go through bureaucracy
yeah.
and security.
Now you get it.
I mean, you could like stumble onto the set, but you had to keep walking. But we definitely were not going to be using the set to tell people that Thingamajig was Victor Oladipo.
Remember that?
I have now seen over the course of this week a couple of times, and I did not know it before seeing it a couple of times, though I could have suspected it, but I did believe in you, and I can be naive this way. You clearly pulled that ladder over during your Dancing with
No.
the Stars update.
No, falsehoods.
Dancing with the Stars.
Absolutely pulled
What
the
up,
ladder.
Stevie?
It almost killed you, by the way.
Mass singer.
Oh, Stevie's on FaceTime.
Stevie's on FaceTime, Dan.
Stevie. He is a
Stevie
handsome
Amin
guy.
says, "What's up?
Well, it's a
Come
good-looking
back,
guy,
Stevie.
man.
Stevie, the seat's open for you."
Oh, he's got a beard now.
Stevie's going to be here on Monday, Dan. Just you wait and see. Hopefully you don't need the show to be
Yeah,
logged.
zoom in on that. There you go. That's a handsome guy. No wonder
It
they
looks like Mike
All
Fuentes.
right,
He looked
you're
all
on the-
mature.
Stevie, you're on the air, pal.
handsome Mike Fuentes.
What's up, boys?
Yeah, what's up, Stevie? Yeah, your vibes as always, pal.
Old home week.
The old crew is back. I love it. I
How
thought
the
it was
girls
a
treating you,
mistake,
Stevie?
But you guys miss me that much. I love it.
Yeah. Hey, congrats on being married. Where was my invite, dog? Invite for invite.
Oh, yeah, that is true. That is true. We missed the invite for invite, man. For real, but
That's-
the next DJ gig, man. You know that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you agree that Kevin Nagandi fucks?
Who?
The Masked Singer was the Masked Singer.
Dancing with the Stars.
How could I get that wrong? We should do Billy's top 5 times we got in trouble at ESPN, given that
We?
How many OLIs?
I didn't get us in trouble.
We know number one.
starting with the Masked Singer the day after the Super Bowl is
That
one of the
was-
times you told me we got in trouble, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know we got in trouble, and we started with the Masked Singer after the Super Bowl because you're so good at doing the Masked Singer. I believe that's when the ladder came down on Close to Me, is it not, or was that a different
no.
time?
Figurative
that was the
ladder.
time.
That
Just
was
the
like
figurative
season 3 or season 4, I think. Yeah. Yeah. The ladder thing was when we were kind of, for gonna be honest, we're running out of things to do. And then we saw a ladder in there, and actual people was in there, and I was like, I want to make this guy laugh. And we pulled down that ladder.
I remember.
I mean, the ladder fell.
It's so I can say this now. Billy reached the point where he didn't want to do it anymore. He hated the bit, so he just tried to sabotage it. And that was
a common
the
thread.
Yeah, it tends to happen. Usually by his own design or by Joaquin Gonzalez's.
That guy.
It's a bit passive aggressive because that skit was not my idea. I still don't know what the difference is between Dancing with the Stars and The Masked Singer. We were only doing that because you liked The Masked Singer. You got tired of it and didn't tell me.
Just we were doing it because you didn't like the Masked Singer.
Very clearly, it's a mask.
No, hold on a second. We were doing The Masked Singer because it was a pop culture moment, and that was us connecting with what was going on in pop culture at the time. However, pop culture continued to move on, and we did not. So we just continued doing The Masked Singer over and over again. And I will say that when COVID came, while it was horrible, and we lost all of those people, and it was a terrible situation, all those lives lost. Yeah. We also lost the ability to do the Masked Singer updates, the Music Dome, and I could not have been happier for the situation.
He would
working
take
from
so
home
many
made it hard.
notes. Like, I'm telling you, there would be pages of notes about
Look
this.
at the
So-
legal pad. It was so unpleasant.
That wasn't a
watching it
bit.
at the end.
There were pages of notes.
Yeah, too many. You guys didn't even want all the information, but I had to give you all the clues so that we could guess along to figure out who the Masked Singer. Hey, that actually was Thingamajig.
That you clearly grabbed that ladder. It's
No.
obvious now. The investigation Pablo Torre finds out has learned that ladder was purposely. I didn't know at the time because it happened behind me. I thought it was a mistake. I really did. I believed it was a mistake.
It's like when an offensive player pulls his defender. Like, oh!
I want to relive it with audio here. Let's listen to the ladder fall.
The tree. The tree. All right. The tree.
Was the tree the cue?
All right. The tree.
So expertly done, only because I was not looking at you. Did I not recognize that you were doing that on purpose? Now, upon further listening, if you only have audio, see if you see and can hear where it is that Billy is fiddling around and grabbing for a ladder that was already supposed to fall because he missed it the first time he purposely grabbed it.
The tree. The tree. All right. The tree. All right. The tree.
The ladder missed its cue.
Performed total eclipse of the heart.
The tree. The tree. The tree. Let me just grab it.
Play the sound of Zaz and Billy arguing.
This is an all-time clip right here. I honestly, when you had the swap helmet and he was in the studio, I was hoping you guys could recreate the magic.
Swap helmet is supposed to be a good thing.
You swap it with a person,
I'm
not the
guessing
team.
here.
You swap it with a person. You swap it with me?
I'm not.
You want to do business with me? You want to swap with me? Maybe I had the Broncos. You want to swap?
No, I want to swap the team. I don't want to swap with you. Who you got?
That's not how I do business.
Well, you don't make the rules.
Maybe I got the Commanders. You want the Commanders? Your microphone's off.
Yes, if you have the Commanders, then I want to swap.
So you want to do business with me?
If you have the Commanders.
Say I want to swap with Billy.
I want to swap with Billy if he has the Commanders.
No contingencies. Pick a person to swap with. This is what you get for not keeping up.
Yo, Chris, who you got?
I have the Jags. Mike has the Cardinals. They're the biggest favorite.
You son of a...
But maybe I had
And I don't like to use that word, but you made me.
I might have the Commanders. Mike's in this hand right here.
You have the Commanders?
Maybe. It's right here. Take a look. It's in this hand.
Let me see your hand.
You seeing it? You blind?
You have the Commanders?
I got my team in this hand right here. You want them?
If that team is the Commanders, I'll want them.
I think Chris Cody gave you a clue.
Want this team or not?
I don't want that team. I'm declining. I don't want that team.
Wow. Your funeral.
It's as strong as you've ever been. Gangster with a lisp.
It sounds like Jonah Hill from Wolf of Wall Street with the fake teeth. That's what Billy sounded like.
Jeremy wants to say goodbye to you emotionally, syrupy. He wants to serenade you. He's jealous of Greg Cody's song. Jeremy's in the other room. He also badly wants to talk about Scherzer putting on the best performance that there was from an old guy yesterday. We're not going to let him do that. But Jeremy, what do you have? How do you want to say goodbye to Billy?
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I really wasn't sure how to say goodbye. I dressed as Billy today as tribute. He's always been one of my favorite characters. He welcomed me in with so much love and so much grace to the show, and I didn't know how to put it into words. And speaking to him in person, I didn't know how to even write it in a card. So I decided, like Greg, like Yeti, I would try to put my words into a song. So Chris, I think you have that available.
Goodbye, Billy. Goodbye, Billy. Goodbye, Billy Gill. See you later, man.
And I mean it from the heart, Billy.
While Jeremy was setting that up,
that's the one.
The camera didn't show it. Billy was hitting him with the wrap it up.
Yeah, Billy was trying to speed him up. Jeremy is vying for the position left open by Billy by trying to yammer more than Billy.
Stevie wants it, though.
Yeah, Stevie think he's the front runner right now.
He's country mile lead.
The vibes.
Him or Udonis Haslam or James Franklin. We're going to have an open tryout for Billy's seat. Do you know how difficult it is, Jeremy, to yammer so much that Billy tries to wrap you up?
Well, I learned from Billy that things like words can be, because it's like, Charlie, well, sometimes, and when you think about photography, like really all you have to do is just kind of point and go, there's nothing that complicated about it. And really, ultimately,
I vote for Stevie.
Clay Travis's contract's up. Really? Saw that article.
Free agent.
Shit stain. We refer to him as shit stain.
Need a little more balance.
Need a couple of shit stains.
Get yourself on a list.
I do want to talk in this local hour. We will spend the show celebrating Billy, and Dominique Foxworth will be around here a little bit later. Matthew Berry will be here as well.
We'll ask him about Dop.
But
great dude.
Louisville and Miami play tonight.
Louisville.
And if people want to pounce on Miami quickly, because very little annoys the national audience more than anything that resembles the "you is back" talk. But there will be people nationally tonight rooting for the whole Miami thing to not be real, for Louisville to win, create more chaos in college football, and produce one of the great things that I missed since Saban left. Where are the teams that you root to lose, that you don't want them to get back on top? Because Miami looks more formidable than they have looked in 20 years, maybe 25. It looks like the most balanced, physical, fast, violent, beat you in more ways team that there is, as I've mentioned all week. There just aren't a lot of teams good enough that the money will tell you, yeah, they're 2 touchdowns better than an offense that is scary. Like a Louisville team that offensively has been scary for a while and can put up 40 at a time. If that defense is real and if Miami is real, what the moment commands is they do not allow the nation on a Friday night stage to laugh at Miami because none of it was real.
Normally, I'd be super nervous about this game, and I think I respect Jeff Brom. He's like Miami; they're coming off a bye. Jeff Brom is an incredible play caller, NFL level play caller. They have a really talented, outstanding wide receiver that's going to be a first rounder in Chris Bell. But typically these Friday ACC games, they're a little spooky. Miami historically has actually randomly been really good on these Friday nights. I think 10-3. Overall since they joined the ACC. But Louisville really struggles at what Miami excels at. That is a bad offensive line. This is a game where Ruben Bain can get after it and pad those stats. Everyone understands while watching the game that he is dominating the game, but he's not racking up the sack totals the way that you would like. They're bad at pass protection with their running backs. The Skinner was here in Miami, and he hasn't improved whatsoever. His frame is the same, and he can't block worth a damn. So this is a game where Ruben Bain can really, with a TV window all to himself, can further entrench himself in that conversation, as well as Carson Beck, who has good numbers and should be in that conversation as well.
Louisville historically, and you're going to have to help me here because not just with the pronunciation, I can't tell you how good statistically Louisville's defense is, but in my lifetime, they've never had a good one. Mm-hmm. In my entire lifetime, Louisville.
It's not that hard.
Not with Schnellenberger, not with anybody. Has Louisville ever had a good defense?
This is probably, they've played each other since Mario Cristobal's been here, the battle for the boots, the bronze boots. The last 3 years, I would say this is probably their strongest defense of that era. Remember, like, these two teams combined for like 90-something points last season. That was actually a game that I was surprised Miami won. They were kind of in control of that game, but it was like, I think, 52-45 at the end. This is probably, in terms of talent and effectiveness, the weakest offense that Jeff Brom has had going up against Mario Cristobal. Quarterback, Miller Moss, a former USC guy, you know, he's all right. Brown's a really good running back, but he seems a little hobbled, but he can break away and be a game breaker. It should be, you know, this is, talent-wise, though, this is the toughest test on Miami's schedule to date. Did Billy check out?
You think it's talent-wise? Wait, I don't think I agree with you there.
Talent-wise on Miami's remaining schedule, I think that this is the toughest test remaining on their schedule. I think that at Pitt, maybe I have PTSD from like ending a season against a freshman quarterback at Pitt with the playoffs on the line.
No, that's just ACC fear on the road.
Yeah, but Pitt's playing better. SMU's that'll be an interesting road test too, but I think in terms of overall talent, Louisville's probably the most talented team remaining on Miami's schedule.
But not more talented than the three teams they've already beaten?
No. But, you know, the season's a war of attrition, and I keep holding on to, and this is not an emotional hedge, I just don't think this is the kind of year that you see a team go undefeated.
You keep doing that, though, and you know what's coming your way if they lose this one. Like, you know.
Yeah, embarrassment, shame, the rest of the nation reveling in it, and those are the stakes now, which is great. Like, we had the conversation that if, you know, they lost this game.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
There's no way.
Oh, my God.
What is this shit that you guys are talking about? That Louis Villa and Louisville this, and they're not going to beat the Canes. The Canes are going to beat the shit out of this team today. I'm telling you that right now. And you guys have been saying all of this time, where has people been? Where is he? What's going on? Let me tell you a little story.
I can't believe this.
4 years ago, a company was started. And there was this man with an accent, and his name was Gilligan something, and he said, we are going to reinvent the wheel, and we are going to make all of these movies, and the first movie that we're going to make is about you, people. And I said, that sounds dope as hell. How many are we going to make? And he said, 4 parts. And I said, that's sick. 4 documentaries about people. I can't wait for the world to hear my story. And he said, I'm going to make you a very wealthy man, people. And I said, that's great. What are we talking here? Millions? Billions? He said, millions. And I said, great. How are you going to pay me, bro? And he said, I'm going to pay you in stock options. And I said, what the hell does that mean? And then he was like, well, Mr. People, this is how it's going to work. We're going to give you. And I said, great, you're going to give it to me now? And he said, well, 4 years, something about a vest. 4 years, something happens with a vest. And I said, so in 4 years, I get all of that money. And he's like, well, not exactly, Mr. People. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? He said, well, in 4 years, you're going to get the opportunity to give me money for those stock options that I'm giving you. And I said, motherfucker, you high? He said, no, I stopped that. But, and I said, hey, enough of that. Get out of here with that shenanigans. And you thought that I wasn't going to come, and I wasn't going to come. And the reason that I came is because I heard that someone said yesterday that I was an embarrassment to our people. Someone insinuated that I disappeared because I was an embarrassment to our people. This Carachivo over there with that great shit on his face. And if you go back and you look, Mike, it happens to know, and Pablo Torre can maybe find out. We look at the old videos from the Clevelander. that beer that he had before, that was blacker than Amin's beer. So someone needs to look into that situation. Me, an embarrassment to our people. You know what's an embarrassment to our people? This guy can't even say reggaeton. That's an embarrassment to our people.
People's right about that.
I, sir, am no embarrassment to our people. I am our people.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, people. Your cardio is definitely taking a hit over the years. COVID. You still have the COVID lung?
Congrats
Yeah,
to People.
I thought you were vaxxed.
Congrats to People. He is this week's nuttiest fan. Get nutty with Hampton Farms, the official peanut of bowl season.
Money? I get money?
Stock options.
Keep an eye out for Lucy
You get
at
peanuts.
Iowa for if you think you are your team's nuttiest fan.
Billy does Barbados Carnival.
So welcome back, Billy, and I don't know where this particular tension is going to end up. Welcome back. And I also want to get to Mike Ryan. He does not agree with you on Hard Knocks, Chris. He doesn't.
Oh, trust me. We had a whole text exchange last night. I almost drove to his house to fight him.
Yeah, you guys have very wildly disparate opinions on the Oakland Raiders and Hard Knocks. But first, Billy, welcome back. How was your honeymoon?
It was good. Thank you for asking.
Oh, he's tightened up his game now that he's refreshed. Okay, things are
it's just so hot today, Dan. I don't know what's going on with the air, but luckily I have this little fan that I bought before a hurricane that I have plugged into my phone, so like it's keeping me nice and cool.
I'm so jealous.
You guys should get these.
Yeah.
These things are awesome. Look at it, Dan. You see this thing? Look at this.
Can you please tell me about all the awkward things that happened to you? Did anything weird happen to you in Barbados? Like what kind of, just give me some awkward Billy on his honeymoon stuff. Is there anything that...
The non-awkward would be a much shorter story.
Yeah, I wonder how this is going to go. What's the best you got from your honeymoon? And then we'll move on to other things like Antonio trying to steal your job.
I've had a lot of awkwardness, well, in my entire life, I guess. But recently I've had a bunch of awkwardness. So I'd say from the honeymoon, I think the most memorable thing that we did was, so in Barbados, they have an annual carnival, right? Or carnival or whatever, right? It's called Crop Over. And it's at the end, well, it's actually called Kadooment, but that's a different story.
All right, go sit outside for a second. We'll get back to it.
Whoa!
Antonio, just go sit in his chair. We'll get back to it.
I'm back, baby.
I want to hear the whole story. I just don't understand why you can't even get the name right of Carnival and like
It's Crop Over. That's fine.
Why is it called a honeymoon?
It's a good question.
That is a good question. Put it on the poll, Antonio, now that you've replaced Billy in his chair. Do you know why they call it a honeymoon? Mike, do you have the sound? A very simple sound, a very simple question. Basically, I want you to hear Billy, who has a reputation for yammering and just not being able to get anything out, and he's rusty, because he hasn't been paying attention to the internet for 10 days. So he came in here today, and it was just a furnace blast of news, all of it weird, disorienting. The local hour has gone someplace else.
We showed him Antonio Brown's feet.
Yeah, like he's missed a lot. I'm actually scared when I disappear for my honeymoon. I'm going to come back and I feel like things are just going to be gone. There's the possibility like the shipping container room just floated off into the Atlantic Ocean.
We're still not out of hurricane season.
Yeah, I am going to fall it's very easy to fall very far behind, very fast when it comes to the amount of stimulation and news and sports stuff that you are getting. Billy was off the grid. He comes back. Everything's changed except his inability to say anything quickly. So
it's white now.
everything is different. Like you.
That's the most efficient you've ever been.
Yes. Look at that. Did you learn something on your honeymoon? Okay, so lest you think he has cured his ills of not being efficient, please play for the audience. This is Billy Rusty returning from his honeymoon. Just him simply trying to say where he was.
I've had a lot of awkwardness, well, in my entire life, I guess. But recently I've had a bunch of awkwardness. So I'd say from the honeymoon, I think the most memorable thing that we did was, so in Barbados, they have an annual carnival, right? Or carnival or whatever, right? It's called Crop Over. And it's at the end, well, it's actually called Kadooment, but that's
for the love of God.
All right,
go
sit outside for a second. We'll get back to it.
Whoa! You would have kept going. You would have given it 20 names if I didn't cut you off and kick you out. You would have given it 20 names. Actually, the roots of the word come from the 1700s and indigenous people.
I was upset you did that to Billy his first day back, but hearing it back, he absolutely deserved it.
Again, yes. I want you to hear again, just Mike, the last part of it, where he's simply trying to say, Billy is simply trying to tell us, this is a very simple transaction. Hey, Billy, where were you? What were you doing? He gets snagged and stuck on where were you?
I've had a lot of awkwardness, well, in my entire life, I guess. But recently I've had a bunch of awkwardness. So I'd say from the honeymoon, I think the most memorable thing that we did was, so in Barbados, they have an annual carnival, right? Or carnival or whatever, right? It's called Crop Over. And it's at the end, well, it's actually called Kadooment, but that's a different story.
All right, go sit outside for How do I not get frustrated with that? Like, I missed it for 10 days, but I don't miss it anymore.
Those are important details.
I normally don't hear, but I heard it.
All right, start again then. And real quick, Mike, just the short version, Billy being asked, where were you, Billy, on your honeymoon? This is a simple question. It gets a simple response in most circumstances, unless you're talking to Billy.
So in Barbados, they have an annual carnival, right? Or carnival or whatever, right? It's called Crop Over. And it's at the end, well, it's actually called Kadooment, but that's a different story.
All right, Billy, we've established where you are and what it's called, kind of. Now, proceed.
All right, so this is how it works.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
I need everybody to know here that if you love Ron McGill and you want to support the things that he is doing, he's got a big event at Zoo Miami. He's winding down his career at Zoo Miami. There's not going to be a lot of time left there.
Breaking news? There's enough going on this week. I don't need that too.
Come on, is he okay?
Oh, my God, he knows.
I'm not breaking news here. He's just in his 60s. And
people live a long time.
I mean, the government's in bad shape and government workers are having a hard time at the moment. And so...
Ron's okay, though.
Wait, so he's dying or he's getting fired?
Well, this happens to me all the time when I say goodbye. This happened to me yesterday when I was saying goodbye to you. People thought that you were dying as well at the beginning of that. This happens to me every time I say anything like this. I'm not breaking news when I tell you that he's got a Halloween party, and I don't know how many more of these he's going to be doing at Zoo Miami. It's Monster Masquerade. It's an adults-only event, and he's allowed us to give our listeners a discount. Roy, give the people some of the details on this.
Yeah, this event is tomorrow. Please do not bring your kids. This is adults only, 21 and over.
Oh, yeah.
Right? All right, the code is RONMM25. You can get 15% off the ticket price, which is $150 each. Has open bars, and you can eat from 20 restaurants. You can go to zoomiami.org/monster and use code RONMM25 for a 15% discount.
Is this like a upside down pineapple situation? What do we got here?
Maybe.
We all agree that this is Derek Zoolander, right?
Yes.
Like they just photoshopped a picture of Zoolander a little bit. That's Blue Steel. Right? He's not an ambi-turner, right? So that's why he's turning his left right here.
Dominique Foxworth is waiting for us in the Zoom. I thought Billy was going to speak there, but Billy, as you know, does things when he wants to do things.
No, we're talking to him mean. You were just trying to figure, because you again said after we were trying to clarify, this might be the last one he does, and we're like, well, because he's sick, he's dying. Government. What's happening?
He's just old.
He's not that old.
Look, this is a day for celebration of old people. I'm going to give you guys some stats from OptaStats. Thursday marked the first time ever that a 40-year-old starting pitcher won a Major League Baseball postseason game, while a 40-year-old starting quarterback won on the NFL in the same day. This also from OptaStats. There's been one game in the history of the NFL where both quarterbacks completed 65% of their passes, threw for 3 touchdowns, had a 100-plus passer rating, threw a 25-yard TD pass, and erased a double-digit deficit. That game occurred last night between two 40-year-old quarterbacks. Ron is 25 years older than the oldest people in sports. Ron is toward the end of his life and career.
He's not playing quarterback for the Browns or the Bengals. Like, you'll be fine. He's talking about animals.
He's riding a golf cart saying,
Exactly
hey, look,
right.
there's a zebra.
Dominique Foxworth joins us now. The Dominique Foxworth Show is something that is informative and fun. Can you explain to me what it is that we saw last night? Because I'm sitting here saying, I thought Jalen Ramsey played pretty well, and you're a former cornerback. So it seems like an impossible position to play when you've got to guard T. Higgins and him getting 6 catches, and the last one makes you a huge failure in a game where they acquired you to be the guy who wins that game. They acquired you to be the guy who does not get beaten by T. Higgins in that spot.
First of all, how's Dan? Anybody? This man is a successful professional communicator, but still struggles to communicate, and I love it. It humanizes you. It's like when Shaq shoots free throws. It's fantastic. But, I mean, as for Jalen Ramsey, he's an incredible football player. What happened last night, I think Tony kind of mentioned it earlier about how it's a challenging position. And I think, to be honest, we talk about how losing a step could hurt you. Like, he isn't as quick as he used to be. So, like, when he's in press coverage, he's going to get beat a little bit more. And it's just those inches that change the way that things work, especially when there's an accurate quarterback. So he was on Chase and Higgins at different times in the game, and he made some plays from time to time. But it's a really tough position, especially when the guys that you're going up against are in their prime, and you may not quite be there anymore. But, yeah, what he means to that defense is more about flexibility and versatility than it is about, like, being a lockdown, shut-down corner that they put on a guy and he disappears. But you also mentioned earlier that the running attack, that was really the difference for the Bengals. The Steelers were in a lot of single high stuff trying to take away that rushing attack, which isolates Jalen Ramsey. And Jalen Ramsey was playing off really far quite a bit. And then when he got up and pressed, that's when that little bit of quickness that he might have lost, it gets in the way and it becomes a problem.
So did he or did he not play well? Is a cornerback even allowed to play well the way you do cornerback measurements in a game that looks like that?
No, I mean, his assessment would be that he played poorly. He gave up a couple touchdowns in the most pivotal play in the game and just man-to-man isolated press coverage. Like, you can't say that you play well in that situation. They give you a really hard job. That's the thing about playing, I mean, frankly, any professional sports, but especially at that position. And the same thing could be said for playing quarterback. That's a really, really difficult job. It's hard to do. If you don't succeed, then you didn't do it well. That's one of the great things about sports is you don't have a whole bunch of conjecture about why this happened or what's going on here. We might do it when we're analyzing the game, but when you get back to the locker room, guys are either saying good job, high five, or saying, hey, it ain't that big a deal, man. We'd be all right. It happens to everybody. Like that's your experience. Rarely do they MF you and try to fight you. You have to be really bad for that to happen. But most of the time, it's like, hey, come on, man. It gets everybody. Don't worry about it. We behind you, that type of stuff.
Well, you say they get everybody, but I haven't seen a game except maybe Seattle, Tampa Bay this year. I haven't seen a football game played where that's what I'm watching. Wait, I thought the Steelers' defense was good. What do you mean all of a sudden the 40-year-old quarterback who's not Browning can get there and have a 350-yard game where he's not throwing from behind? He'll just decimate you all game long, and all of a sudden the Bengals look exactly like they did with Burrow. How's that possible?
Well, the Steelers' defense isn't very good. Like, they haven't been all that good all season long. They have a lot of names, and they have a long reputation. It's a lot like what happened with the Ravens, but I guess the Ravens have the excuse of a bunch of injuries. The Steelers' defense has kind of been up and down this year. The games that they had, like a high EPA, were a result of turnovers, and those things, as you know, can come and go depending on the situation. So they haven't been all that good this year. That still doesn't mean that this offense that's been bad without Joe Burrow all year should just kind of go in there and do what they want with him the way they did. But I think you can chalk it up to the Joe Flacco dead cat bounce, and also like Thursday nights. Thursday nights are always a little bit unpredictable because it's just a random, weird rest situation and preparation situation. But yeah, Joe Flacco wasn't doing anything amazing. He was just picking them apart and making the decisions to get rid of the ball quickly and finding the soft spots in the zone. But I don't know why he's still doing it, at first it was like confusing to me, like why is Joe still out there? But now it's kind of beautiful and romantic that I genuinely think that this guy, people say I would do this for free, and we all know they're lying. He's really one of these guys that I think would do it for free because I think he recognizes, while taking a contract with the Browns, he recognizes that he's not going to win a Super Bowl or impact his legacy in any way. He also made a ton of money. I'm not sure exactly what could motivate him to go out there and get hit by people other than he just really freaking loves it. I don't love nothing as much as Joe Flacco loves to play football.
He really does. He's been asked in press availabilities about, like, why are you still doing this? You have nothing to prove. And he's like, well, I'm presently at the level where I know I'm still an NFL quarterback and I only got one life to live. He's actually it's a love letter to football. Right. Every time he's asked about the question, he's like, why wouldn't I still want to be out here? It's freaking amazing.
Or he hates his family.
Or he hates Mike Tomlin.
Just saying.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Who does Joe Flacco hate more, Mike Tomlin or his own family?
Oh, I mean, don't his sons hate him? Isn't that a thing that his sons
they wear opposing uniforms?
Oh man, that's a cauldron there. That's a tough household where your sons who are eating the food that you buy, going to the fancy schools that you probably pay for, wearing all their expensive clothes that you have given them, also probably pretty athletic and tall thanks to your genes, still like, you know what? Jahmyr Gibbs. That's my guy.
Yeah, buy me the Gibbs jersey with that money we make, Dad.
That's awful. But Dominique, I didn't even think about that. It's like actually the money from winning Super Bowls is the money that you little MFers are taking to Dick's Sporting Goods and being like, hey, put me down for one of them Gibbs.
Flacco's got one assignment during his time in Cincinnati, and that's just win enough to be a bridge to possibly Joe Burrow coming back and them having a shot at the playoffs. After 2 games, it seems like he's going to be able to tread enough water to get them there, right?
I mean, I hope so. Like, that feels like a lot more fun experience than the alternative. I think that the fact that he has good receivers, it's so hard to decipher what's happening in a football game. And I would have told you before Thursday night that Joe Flacco was going to have a rough outing and the Bengals were going to get blown out. And I don't know exactly the reason why this is all worked out. I think there's a couple receivers that probably helps to understand it. But those guys couldn't work for Jake Browning, who's had some successful runs in that same situation with those guys. So, like, some of this stuff is surprising. I've noticed this year that it feels like there are some like emotional impact of certain players in certain situations that's impossible for us to measure as I've gone through like my evolution of an analyst, from going from like football guy who's like hand in the dirt, everything can be explained by football, to like reading more about analytics and understanding that, to feeling like I can figure things out, to these numbers, to now back around on that cycle to like football guy where it's like, man, get these damn bobs right and hit somebody, holla at Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo, all of a sudden, we beating the defending Super Bowl champs.
It's about having guys, right? And it feels like Flacco's playing a bit of Madden right now. He's like, all right, I'm going to throw it to Jamar Chase 23 times, and let's see if you can stop him, right? Like, it's easy to play quarterback when you have a guy that's that good and you just throw the ball to him.
It wasn't easy for Browning. Like, it made it easier for Browning, but Browning can throw you 3 interceptions. So can Flacco, by the way, but he's not going to do it against the Jets next week. They're going to be 4-4, Dominique. And what we're like, if Flacco was enjoying life as football player before, he's enjoying it more when he's got the old age and he's counting the minutes, because he's like, I was just with the Browns. I know how hard this can be when I don't have players. Good God, wait a minute. There's a team where I can throw to those 2 guys? Both my wide receivers are super expensive. Okay, I'll go there and punctuate my career there and see if I can just get it to 500 for Joe Burrow. And then all of a sudden in the playoffs, everyone's fearing the Bengals again.
A lot of pressure on Joe Burrow, though, because I think that it wasn't a foregone conclusion. We were kind of saying, like, if we get there, then maybe Joe Burrow can be back. Like, I'm not sure. Can you imagine a scenario where Joe Burrow comes back and plays poorly and the Bengals are like, hey, man, bring back Flacco. His toe's not quite healed all the way. We need to bring back Flacco.
Dominique, you mentioned learning more about analytics in your current role as an analyst. When you were a player, did they ever, any of the prep, was it ever analytically driven? And if so, was it presented as such? Or did they just tell you, we need this to happen, and there was analytics behind the reasoning, but you guys never saw it?
Yeah, you know as well as anybody that there's always been analytics. It's funny because it's like a new word where like I make fun of people because they're like, I did some research. Like, how many Googles qualifies as research? You did one Google and read one article and you're presenting this as research. I think the same thing is true of analytics. Like, I think they're more sophisticated now, but we were always using analytics. We just called them tendencies. It's like when this guy lines up here, this is the likelihood that he's going to do this when this team is on this position of the field. So we always used it, and it made you feel confident and comfortable in the things that you are willing to do. I think that's one of the most important things, and especially at the position of cornerback, you have to take chances. The quarterbacks are too good. The receivers are too good. Like, you should never win a one-on-one matchup based on like physicality and the way the rules are set up. But if you take chances and you gamble and those chances are calculated, things will work out for you. I think that's all analytics are, and having confidence in the people that are presenting it. I think you make a good point about how is it presented to you. If you tell me the probability, that's one thing. But if you tell me a story about this probability and understand that when this is going to happen, and also like you have credibility, that's the thing that I think hangs over what's happening with the Eagles is like, I don't feel like there's like a leader in that organization right now on the offensive side of the ball that everyone can look to. Like they had Kellen Moore last year. I was like, hey, I've done it before. I've been here for a long time. You can trust that I'll fix this, because you know they had a rough start last year and they fixed it.
Let me stop him for a second because we've gone too long without celebrating Billy, and some old-time listeners of this show are really going to appreciate this. Time now for Guillermo's epic sound of the day.
Time now for
Guillermo's
epic sound of the day. It's going to be epic.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Billy. Hey,
Hello,
hey,
Billy.
It's Billy. Dominique, how's it going?
What's up, buddy?
Dan, what's new?
You really took out Skipper in the last segment.
Oh!
I did.
He didn't.
I didn't.
Billy wasn't even
I
here.
wasn't.
What are
Thank
you
you,
talking
Tony
about?
gets. I wasn't even here. What are you
Exactly
talking
right.
about?
Also, he's talking about Gilligan,
Yeah. Anywho,
not the skipper.
you guys familiar with Demi Lovato?
Yeah.
Musician,
Uh-huh.
actress,
Yes.
voice of a generation. Some say had some troubles.
Some
but
say.
overcame them. Now, honestly, looks happier than ever and healthier than ever. Just looking great. In fact,
What's going on there?
there was what do you mean, Dan?
This ain't the room for it.
Demi Lovato?
Yes, looks great.
No, you know who we're talking about.
Yes.
Though. Okay. So, Demi Lovato, who years ago we introduced the world to a clip such as this one. In fact, this exact clip. This is one of my favorite epic sounds of the day ever. Before she became friend of the Demi Lovato Bros, where we went and we saw her at the Daytona 500. If you remember correctly, you remember that?
No.
You don't remember when we met Demi
Cougs,
Lovato?
Thomas.
Demi
yes.
You remember
Yes,
Bros?
Cougs'
and-
dance moves.
Yes,
Yeah.
Cougs' dance moves.
That's
yes.
the wrong picture, but that's fine. Don't worry. Never
Taylor.
changed. There we go.
Only
See that?
Only Cougs still stands.
Yeah. Not the day. Anywho, Demi Lovato was, doing some press 10 years ago. And when she was doing said press 10 years ago, she was asked her favorite dish.
And your favorite dish? My favorite dish? I like mugs because they're very comfortable in your hand and they hold the hot things that you don't have to touch. So, coffee or hot tea.
More of a bowl guy myself.
That is Guillermo's epic sound of the day. I'm glad that we brought
now
it.
for
Guillermo's
epic sound of the day.
I'm
It's
glad.
going to be epic.
You guys have a favorite dish?
I'm glad
Dominique, what's your
that
favorite
we-
dish? Just
I mean, that's actually a pretty good answer. I get why it's dumb, but I mean, like, it's kind of a pretty good answer because it does have some use. Can I just say,
I don't think a mug is a dish. There, I said it. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. I think it's a terrible answer. Is a mug
Fair
a
point.
dish?
Fair
Is a
point.
mug a dish? I'd go with the saucer.
Saucer.
My favorite dish
That's a
is
ramekin.
is the
That's
saucer.
what I call it.
Ramekin.
My dad taught me that word. Look, don't question me on this.
Ramekins are you put clothes on in a window.
No, ramekins are little tiny cups you put sauces in. Yep.
Ramekin sounds tawdry.
Put it on the poll. Do you know what a ramekin is? I want to get back
Ramekin, barely know him.
I want to get to the conversation that
Poor Ken.
Dominique was starting when he said that Joe Flacco's kids are disrespectful. All kids are disrespectful, aren't they? All kids.
They absolutely are, and they get so disrespectful that eventually they have to leave. We're going to miss you, Billy. We love you so much, man. The weirdness in this show is a lot generated by Billy, and the show's going to get a lot less weird, which is kind of sad, but congratulations, and we're all happy for you. Hopefully,
More
my
Jeremy.
kids can grow up to be, my kids can grow up to be as awesome and entertaining and talented and funny as you, but right now, they just disrespect the shit out of me on a regular basis, and it drives me nuts. And my wife tries to tell me that they don't mean it as disrespect. But if I tell you to put your laundry away, I take the basket from the laundry room and put it in your room in a place that you have to walk by. If you walk by it, that is disrespect. My wife's like, no, they're just not thinking about it like that. They don't take things as seriously as you do. But I throw to the room. Does that not qualify as disrespect? If I put it there,
1000%.
I know that you've walked by it 4 times. I heard you. It's 2 days now. It's still sitting there untouched. That's disrespect. I'm going to get mad. That's all.
Imagine if you step over, right? Like supreme disrespect. In the NFL, you get a flag for stepping over somebody. AI stepping over Ty Lue. That's disrespect.
Tony, you think I ain't do that? You think I ain't blocked the door with the laundry
That's what I'm saying. So they're stepping over said laundry basket.
Oh,
and by doing that, are they, Dan, are they or are they not saying, hey, Dad, F you?
Well, they're not only just doing that, Dominique. I'm thinking to myself, as you say this, there isn't anywhere else in your life with any person you've encountered that you've ever abided this kind of disrespect.
That's the thing about love is love and fear, but I think I've probably abided a little bit more disrespect for people that had some more power. Like I've been MF'd by plenty of coaches where it's like, oh man. And also like, yeah, sometimes me and Ray Lewis disagree. And I'm like, you're right, Ray.
Okay,
I'll be quiet, but when he walks away,
that's an interesting one, though. What's funny about what you're articulating is the only time that you abide disrespect is when someone is actually more powerful than you. They're disrespecting you because they don't think you're powerful at all.
Exactly. I know. It's that they don't because I'm not. That's the misconception about everything. And I think, Dan, you might be figuring this out too. It's like, man, when you're a kid, you're like, man, when I get to be a parent, adult, I'm going to have so much power and control, do whatever I want. Man, when I get to run my own company, I'm going to have so much power and control, do whatever I want. That's not how it works, kids. Let me warn you, don't get your hopes up. It don't get much better than 17. 17 is awesome. Nothing gets better than being 17, especially if you're good at football. Oh, it's incredible. A 17-year-old that can ball? Oh, it's life. Be a 42-year-old who's married with 3 kids. Not nearly as much fun.
Dominique's kids are like, he'll be fine. We'll just draw another picture where his hairline is real strong.
That's how they win me back. I used to laugh with my brother about how our mom would apologize in the off chance that she did something that we were upset about, rather than being like, look, I'm sorry. She'd just be like, what's that video game you've been talking about? Where those shoes that you've really been liking? And then she would pick it up for us, and that was her version of apology. I feel the same way about these pictures. It's like, rather than be like, I'm sorry for disrespecting you, they're like, hey, you got a hairline like Jalen Rose. Which, clearly not true.
Is there anything more disrespectful than your kids do than what they just did to you? Like, what is the greatest of the indignities you suffered before you realized, wait a minute, this is a disrespect I'm abiding that I shouldn't be. These kids need to be better kids because I'm their dad.
It's a lot of words.
He's a great communicator. They are normally fantastically behaved children, but they do, like, because we are like more gentle parents than there was in the past. Like, obviously, I don't advocate any type of violence, but it is a much more direct way of communicating. And you turn up the volume a little bit, which is one thing I think I'm good at, is I don't blow up very often. So when somebody talk back, it's mostly like if my son talks back to his mother, I lose it then. And of course, we don't get to physical violence, but it's a lot of loud, and that stuff stops. So like the most disrespectful thing they do are these passive things where it's like clean up after yourself. Don't take bowls out of the kitchen if you're not going to take them back into the kitchen. Those sorts of things that my life is riddled with those things. And they irk me because they're so small that I seem like the crazy person for losing it. It's like, oh yeah, it's just a bowl in the living room. Like, it's not the end of the world. He didn't stab anybody, but I feel so personally disrespected. You guys make me feel bad. Like, is there anything like this in any of your lives that you're like, man, I know it's small, but I know that you thought about me when you looked at that goddamn bowl and walked past it for the third time?
Dominique, what you're describing is microaggressions. That's the term, microaggressions. That's what children are great at. My kids, I told this story, I think it was a week ago or so. I was telling them about Milli Vanilli. And like, oh, this is the biggest thing. And they won these Grammys and these songs were hits. And then turned out they were lip syncing. And so my kids were like, oh, word. And so then we put on like a little documentary about it. And I showed them the videos. And they watched and they looked at me and said, you mean to tell me you think that they were actually singing? And I know what they're trying to say. They're trying to say, you dumbass. You believe this? You bought this? They look at these guys. They're clearly lip syncing. But deep in my heart, I was like, no, but you don't understand. We all believed. We all thought it was real.
There's the when you're able to look back at something, because they're going to have the same experience, and we are all having that experience now too, where you're like, man, how could people disenfranchise other people's ability to vote? That's ridiculous back in the 50s. And then you look around like, oh, that could happen here too.
That's how right there.
It's the exact same thing. Milli Vanilli, girl, you know it's true. It's the exact same thing. What you're saying.
It's true. While we've been talking about communication, what do you think Dan was trying to say here, Dominique?
I think Billy goes. I think Billy and Mike have both had zoo experiences that have grown their relationship with Ron McGill. Do I have this wrong?
I think that's really messed up that Dan would out people on air. Like, gosh, they got a little secret thing going on there. Let them live, baby.
That's a totally abnormal way to ask somebody if they've ever been to the zoo, right?
He said something earlier in the show today that was really weird too. Like in the first segment, I just like, man, it feels like there's like 1,000 things probably going on in his mind at one time. Like when I'm listening to him, I can hear the wheels turning. Whereas there was a time when Dan, all the wheels are turning, and it's just like you couldn't tell. It's just spitting out all this great stuff. And now like the great stuff doesn't stop, but occasionally it comes out with another word of a different thought.
And it usually starts with, tell me if I have this wrong.
Wait, Dominique, you got Dan's words getting into a club, which is his mouth, and they're all going, all right, how many you got with you? All these guys. And then there's one word that kind of sneaks in the back, like, I'm with them too.
This is exactly what happens again. Like, we should listen to the question again and figure out, or the response again, and figure out which one of these words snuck in with the group of baddies. Like, it's just a fat dude just squeezing, like, oh, I'm with them. He never used to get in before.
I think Billy goes. I think Billy and Mike have both had zoo experiences that have grown their relationship with Ron McGill. Do I have this wrong?
I think they just bum rushed the door.
Zoo experiences.
None of y'all supposed to
It's
be
like 7 Chris Pens.
You know,
just bum rushing.
I think you're doing great, sweetie.
It's the two. It's growing and experiences.
Yeah, experiences
Those are the
weird,
two
yeah.
words that's like, nah, y'all, you too old to be in this club. Get out of here.
All I was trying to say is that he gave your kids a VIP tour they'll never forget.
Then
at
say
the
that.
zoo.
Sounds much better.
I did.
Say
I wanted them to say it, and I've gotten old. This is what happens.
I haven't done that.
Zoological experience.
Zoo experience. I think my window closed on that. Ron's never going to talk to me again. Let's be real.
Have you ever tried to talk while reading at the same time? It's like you're reading something and you're trying to hold a conversation with someone else. Like, I feel like that's also an explanation that's going on, is like sometimes these things bleed into the same conversation.
Dominique, I got a question. I was on a flight, and the guy next to me was watching Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. The problem was he was watching last week's game. Do I have an obligation to let the guy know? Wait, no.
You have to let him know. I would love to let him know.
No.
Was it Dan?
Was he enjoying it?
He seemed to be really into
Yes,
it.
let
Eagles
him.
Giants. I mean, it was a great game.
I watched a video a couple weeks ago where like this family convinced their dad that they were watching the Dodgers playoff game because he had like bad vision, took off his glasses or whatever, and they were really just playing a video game on the screen. And he's like, "How'd you get the game? How'd you get the game?" Like, we found it, Dad. Don't you worry. And they kept it going for like over an hour.
It'd be great if Dan just started today's show with Cam Scatterbo became a star last night.
I told you this happened in an Amazon Prime game, the Rams game the other day.
You're like, these games are starting late.
They're still outside the stadium with Fitzpatrick and Whitworth playing with the tailgate crowd, and I'm looking at my watch. I'm like,
daylight?
It's 8:45. How is it that they're still doing this? Just because I hit play, thought it was going to take me to live, and it went back to the start of the broadcast.
Playing in Hawaii.
I got a confession to make. It's happened to me before. I've figured it out now, but if you have like YouTube TV, you watch on one TV and then you turn it off, it stops whatever you're watching where you were watching it. And then if you go turn it back on somewhere else, it picks it up there. And I've been in group texts talking to people about a game that's been over for an hour because I'm still behind. It happened to me a couple times. Now I double check because I can just press it and then it's like, yeah, start. It doesn't say like resume, or it says resume, but it doesn't say like go to live. And you have to be conscious of that or you'll look like an idiot. But I'm also old. I know I'm old because of that. And I don't recognize these player celebrations anymore. Like that was a thing that I used to like see a celebration and be like, I get that right away. And like the commentators are confused by it. Now I know I'm old, almost Dan age.
Ooh, that's a good one. Which one got you? Which one got you recently where you don't know the celebrations? Because that is a good landmark on how it is that people fall out of the pop culture demo. You're watching athletes celebrate something, and you don't recognize what it is.
It's a very, I mean, most of them now seem like they're TikTok dances.
You gotta get on TikTok. They're all TikTok dances.
Yeah, it's this like booty shaking song where all the guys, which you would be surprised by, it's a woman's song. Forgot what it's called. Take Me Through There, I think is what it's called.
Show us. Why don't you show us?
Well, I can't do the booty shaking portion. They don't really do that, but then they do like this thing while they're dancing.
Oh.
And I was like, why is everybody doing that? And of course I went to TikTok. I was like, oh yeah. And so I could go pretend like I know why they're doing that.
And so which one got you though? Is there one in particular that got you?
That's crazy.
It's all of them. They were all doing it throughout college. And like, I know that this happened recently because they like recently banned the wiping of the nose celebration. And I was in on that. Like they were getting away with it for many years. And I was like, I know what you're doing there. Nobody else knows. And then all of a sudden this year, people are doing TikTok dances that I've never seen before. So I know that I'm on a path to eventually letting a lot of people in the club that shouldn't be in the club and sounding like I'm not making sense. That one, you know what it means, Tony.
Flat.
Yeah, you can't be doing that anymore. They banned it, which is funny because, I mean, it's innocent enough. It's not cutting the throat.
You have said on the Dominique Foxworth show that the Chiefs are all the way back and that the league needs an alert. The teams that you know are positive, are good. Name them.
None. I mean, I think there are no teams that are as good as the Eagles were last year. There are no teams, including the Chiefs, that are as good as the Chiefs were at their peak. The whole league feels like some of the bad teams have like gotten a little bit better and some of the great teams have gotten a little bit worse. But I think the thing that's most attractive, which I know you pay attention to, Dan, about the Chiefs is they're fun again. And the defense, I think they do this cool thing that Steve Spagnuolo does where he has a blitz or some sort of coverage that he knows gonna work. And he does not call it. He like saves it, puts it in his pocket for a certain time, which gives me faith in the defense that when they need a play, they're going to be able to get that play. But they're not going to need that play as much as they used to because they're going to be blowing people out because the offense, if anything, is back, especially when and if they get their rookie tackle back, Josh Simmons. I think they're going to be like pretty proficient at scoring points, which of course is the point of the game. But I don't know. No one's really like stepped out there. I think we'll see about the Colts. They're going to continue to get tested. I think they're probably one of those teams that we have some baggage, so we're not going to be quick to anoint them. But if you watch them play, you'll see. I think they actually are really good. And Danny Dimes is, Indiana Jones, right? New nickname.
Dominique, it feels like the Colts play like really good defense. Their running game is really strong with Jonathan Taylor. And if Danny Dimes can continue to do what he's doing now, they could be probably one of the best teams in the AFC.
Yeah, their defense, I think, is like tricky, which is they're good at tricking people and confusing people. We'll see how good they are when that no longer works. But I think the fact that their offense is so good, it makes it so much easier. Like, we've changed the rules in this game. If you remember back when we were all younger, like, defense was it, like defense and running the ball. Now it feels like the most important thing you can have is not a great defense. It's an offense that can't be stopped. And Daniel Jones is not just being like a game manager. Some of the plays that he's making and the throws that he's making are top level, like Matt Stafford-esque throws on occasion. It's not as consistent as Matt Stafford does it, but he's showing that he has that ability. The next question is like high pressure situations. And I've always had a hard time with that as an assessment, like guys who choke and stuff, because it just doesn't feel concrete enough for me to grab onto. But you can kind of find some statistics that suggest that some people are worse in those situations. I just have a real hard time because I've been made to, or other people have been made to look so stupid when they're like, this guy can't win the big one. And eventually he wins the big one. Like, I just don't get it. So that's the hard part. And I know we saw it with Sam Darnold last year, but Sam Darnold, he's better this year than he was last year. So I suspect that him and the Seahawks, another team that I really like, that might be my favorite team right now, especially if they get healthy in the secondary with Leonard Williams up front. Like, that team is going to be incredible with Darnold and JSN, the receiver core. And that team, I think, might surprise some people.
What are you laughing at?
I'm turning into Dane.
JSN, huh?
JSN.
JSN,
the cheat code.
That's the announcer cheat code.
JSN.
Oh, Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Yeah, because I said that last name, man. It's tricky.
Oh,
man.
and Jigba, right? I didn't get it wrong.
Not you. I'm just saying the announcers.
Don't grunk me.
He was laughing because you chose to go with the initials instead of the name, because the name has some danger in it. But you said
zone.
Smith and Jigba is the best receiver in the league. You've already pronounced him that. I don't think I haven't heard a lot of other people saying that, even though he's got the most explosive plays in the league.
What's most interesting to me about any of this is that I want to know who's watching my show and telling you what I said, because there's no chance that you are. Like, I want to know who's out here watching it and telling you my takes, because I might want to come on here with a brand new take.
Dominique, let me tell you right now, he doesn't watch Cinephobe, so he's never done any Cinephobe references. So I'm guessing he actually watches your show.
Nah, he don't. He got somebody. Somebody's doing the work, Dan. All right, come clean, Dan. Who's watching it and telling you?
Not true. I'm listening to the things you say.
Yeah.
That's not tricky with your language right there. Are you listening to the things I say, or are you listening to my show?
There was just a graphic up on ESPN when it was.
Yes.
Was it What the Fox?
Yeah, What the Fox. There was just a graphic. Dominique says Smith and Jigba is the best receiver in the league.
You were like, huh?
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I could fool Dominique into thinking I care.
Retribution is the movie, by the way, this week on Cinephobe.
That is impressive, though. Like, as we're making fun of you for being old, the ability to, like, retain short-term things, like, you're not that old yet,
Thank
Dan,
you that I don't have Alzheimer's. A very impressive bar that Kevin McGovern.
Yes.
How is Dan? That's the kind of
it's
thing
always
you
led
and
with
I-
one of these.
Yeah.
How is Dan?
Yeah, you got to suck your teeth first. I get that question every now and then. It's like, hey, how you doing?
We've got
things good in Miami.
Fewer than 90 seconds left. I saw a great clip the other day that I want you to tell me how common it is. Hollywood Brown scored on a touchdown. They played the Wired for sound. Hollywood Brown comes up to the line of scrimmage, clearly has no idea what the play is. Turns to Juju Smith-Schuster and say, what do I have to do here? And he says, you got the shallow route, and then scores a touchdown. Had no idea what the play was. How common is that?
I think it's probably not that common, but more common than you think, which is probably a pretty shitty answer. But every team has at least one guy who never knows what's going on and another guy who knows everybody's job on both sides of the ball. There's normally one or two guys that you know if this is, and it's normally with game plan specific stuff where it's like, all right, in cover 4, when we see this against this team in this situation, we're going to play this route combination this way. There's always somebody who's like, and if you've been around long enough, tell them before they ask. You got to tell them before they ask. Like, hey, we're going to palms this where you get the number 2 to the flat. You got to drive number 1. Those are the things. And I mean, in their defense, some of this stuff is like unnecessarily like Byzantine and complicated.
It was pretty great, though, because the next clip I saw, Hollywood Brown scores the touchdown. He's running around the sideline talking about how God did that, and then Juju comes over and says, I knew the play, right? I'm the one. Like, you do remember that you didn't know the play before you came to the touchdown.
It's very Byzantine? Is that what he's
That's
doing?
what he
like
said.
the Empire?
You turned it into Dan.
It just means like unnecessarily complicated. Like
so that word was Byzantine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like Rube Goldberg would be like a Byzantine like contraption. Am I gone?
See you
Are we
later,
even on
Dom.
there anymore?
Thank
I
you for
wanna
this
talk
podcast
more.
experience.
Billy, I love you. You're the best.
Okay, bye. Goodbye. It's like a carnival type thing, and you guys will see from time to time, every once in a while, Rihanna will go back to Barbados, and she'll be like parading in the streets, and it's like Brazilian carnival, basically. So we wanted to do that, which is not something that at all is something that I would probably ever be in my comfort zone, right? You would think me parading.
It's a
through
lack
the
of
streets.
it's a lack of repressions. It is free, liberated people being themselves. So of course that's the worst place in the world for you to be soaked in fear.
Oh, it gets worse. So to participate in this, you have to sign up with what are called bands, and they have a bunch of different bands that you sign up for. So we found a band, and then I get my costume. You have to pay to get costumes. So I'm going through the streets, and I'm shirtless, and I'm in pink shorts and a cowboy hat, and all this fake jewelry that they have on that it's like massive, like this pendant around my chest and like these arm cuffs. So I'm like going through the streets dressed not in all way that I'd ever be comfortable doing it. And I thought that, you know what, it's like a parade. It'll be like the Three Kings parade that they have in Dade County. And it'll be like a couple blocks, whatever, Thanksgiving Day parade. So when we're in the taxi to get there, I asked the guy, I go, how long is this parade? And he's like, oh, it's 9 to 10 miles. And I'm like, whoa. 9 to 10 miles, like that cannot be right. So I'm like feverishly looking through my phone. Like, I need to find the parade route. I need to know exactly where I'm going through Barbados. I need to know.
You're doing this with like bejeweled and all sorts of fake jewelry.
Oh yeah, dressed like a clown in the back of it. And don't get me started on Barbados taxis because it doesn't cost $20 American to go everywhere. Okay, like I went like 10 blocks. $20 is way too much to go on a taxi 10 blocks. All right.
Once you're in the cab in their territory, they've got you, Bill. It doesn't matter. You're lucky it was only $20.
Put it on the poll. Once you're on the cab in their territory, do they have you?
It's a home game for them.
A bit steep for the amount of travel that we were like 2 miles. $20 seems like a lot, but whatever. So I find out that it's actually a 10K, which is like 6 miles. But either way, I'm not prepared to be walking through the heat dressed like a clown for 6 miles. I haven't walked 6 miles in my life, I don't think. I don't know the last time I did it. And I wasn't wearing my Fitbit, so none of the steps counted. That's the only reason I wear my Fitbit, so my steps count. But if I don't wear my Fitbit, the steps don't count. So it was a total waste of time walking through here. And I was sunburned, obviously. There was lots of
the jewelry. From the jewelry,
oh,
were you?
If I could show you the burn that
Please
I had.
do.
I had
Please do. Like,
oh wow!
I had a giant circle here for a little bit. Yeah, there was a big circle here for a little bit. Yeah. Everyone was drinking alcohol, but I was drinking water. I thought I was going to pass out and die on the street.
You were careful and
obviously.
responsible at Carnival.
I had to pee so many times, and you had to pay extra to use the wee-wee cart. You know what the wee-wee cart is? I didn't. I had to ask, what is the wee-wee cart? It was basically this flatbed truck with like 6 or 7 porta potties on the back of it, and you had to just kind of hop on it while it's moving, and then go into the porta potty and then hop out.
That's a heady play, man.
That's wonderful.
That sounds delightful.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Man, you guys talk about some weird time for some ads.
So what was the most awkward visually? Like where you're wearing the costume and you find yourself in an uncomfortable place in the cab? Or like, was there any place where you were most uncomfortable wearing that stuff?
In public. I'll show you guys the pictures. I'm not putting them out there because I don't trust the internet and I don't trust these listeners because they'll just embarrass me forever if I show you the pictures. I'll show you guys. It was ridiculous. And by the way, the things that were going on in this parade.
Yeah, sensual.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
I saw things I've never seen before.
Baby.
Amin just asked me the question, and I don't know the answer. Is there any man on television who it takes longer to get dressed in the morning than Cam Newton? Anybody in sports history of television? Because he's looking at the number of layers that Cam Newton is wearing right now. It's vest, it's bow tie, it's shirt, it's jacket. It's clearly not Adnan Verk. Adnan Verk would not qualify as the person it takes the longest amount of time in the morning to get dressed. But I don't have a better nominee than
Barry Melrose.
Cam Newton. It's
No.
a good.
Barry wears a suit, slicks his hair back.
Yeah,
he's
but
good.
no, he's got like a vest. That's a layered suit that he's got on there.
It's nothing near Cam Newton.
He sticks his hand in any body of water, toilet, sink, whatever, just gets his hand wet and slicks it back.
Real
Oil.
good.
Put it on the poll. Does Barry Melrose?
No, don't stop.
What?
He's sick, guys.
Oh, is he?
Sick.
No,
yeah,
you can't-
been over here like, let's stop. No
can't-
one's taking a cue.
You
Sick
can't
as
make fun
fuck,
of him.
maybe.
He's sick.
He still slicks his hair back. My fault. I didn't know that.
That has nothing to do with his disease.
Adnan
Just slicking
Verk
the hair.
is with us now, and he's got a hat on. The bill is a little ragged. He is celebrating the Toronto Blue Jays in a way that is clearly and obviously biased.
It's the worst bill I've ever seen.
It's
on
a
hat.
bad. It's a bad
The
bill.
cop's bill.
Like, it's beaten up. It's an old hat.
$200?
It looks a little too comfortable. He's the host of MLB Tonight and Amazon Prime Monday Night Hockey. You can listen and subscribe to his NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers on iHeart. And his book, Cinephile, interviews, essays, and tales from the red carpet is available now. That's his real passion. He pretends to care about sports. It's movies that he cares about the most. Max Scherzer last night had the best old guy performance of the evening. I don't know how he did that, Adnan. Thank you for joining us. He's been terrible for a while. He's 41 years old, and he's the original 100-mile-an-hour thrower, and he's out there farting 94 miles an hour, and he's a dinosaur, and he scared his manager and yelled at him, and Schneider ran back to the dugout and said afterward, yes, I was scared. I shouldn't have been out there. I was only there for a couple of seconds. I shouldn't have been out there.
That is horrifying.
No, but it was totally crazy. All of it. I've not seen the way that managers usually represent is I'm in charge. That guy ran back to the dugout because he looked deep into both of Max Scherzer's different colored eyes, and he was haunted, and he just ran back to the dugout. In terms of impressive, willful things you've seen in baseball, Adnan, Max Scherzer going back and getting back some Mad Max to save Toronto's season and beat Toronto's ace. How impressive does that one rank? Old guy performance, willful performance.
Dan, it was remarkable because if you go by the numbers, Luis Castillo had a .70 ERA in his last 6 starts going into this game. So for the Mariners, you see, all right, Luis Castillo is going to shove. He's going to be brilliant. And for Scherzer, as you mentioned, he's been tired for a while. He had an 8.79 ERA his last 4 postseason starts going back to 2002. As far as recent vintage, his last starts in the month of September had an ERA over 10. And in the first inning, an ERA of 12.64. There's no reason Max Scherzer should pitch like he did last night, and yet he was throwing his fastest fastball in a year and a half, and he did so with a curveball, which he basically invented later in his career. He threw 10 curveballs, all for strikes, and 4 of his 5 strikeouts came on that very same curveball. But all that gets obscured by, as you mentioned, that wonderful tete-a-tete with John Schneider. Now, when Schneider runs to the mound like that, as Buck Martinez and Dan Shulman said, that's him basically going to check on his pitcher just to say, are you good? Well, Max clearly was furious and yelled, I'm good, let's go. And John Schneider scurried back to the dugout, terrified to do anything else. Max Scherzer, I don't think, Dan, it would have been hysterical if Randy Rosarina had then taken him deep, but thankfully Scherzer gets out of it. And then I said, they can't take him out in the next inning. Everyone's scared to take him out. He starts the 6th inning, gets a couple outs. This time, John Schneider quickly motions to his left arm, allows nothing to be said. But 87 pitches, as you said, a willful performance at 41 years of age. That was Max Scherzer's 500th start, regular season and postseason. He's thrown over 50,000 pitches in baseball, and he gets his first win since the 2019 World Series. Remarkable. And as you said, it saved the season. The Jays lose that. They're down 3-1. They're probably cooked. Now it's a best of 3. Toronto's got home field.
Can you explain, though? You just said 2002. You went back to he's been good before 2002. What was the stat you just gave us from 2002?
I apologize. His postseason is his 8.79 ERA, his last 4 postseason starts going back to 2022. We left out.
Okay.
I was like,
what are you talking about?
That doesn't sound like a good pitcher. It's been 20 years.
Okay, but it has been 3 years since Dinosaur Scherzer had a fastball that scared anybody.
And he's the first pitcher ever to pitch for 6 different teams in the postseason, which is both a nod to his longevity and the fact he hasn't stayed in one place for too long. Like, Max is a hired gun. Wherever he goes, he's looking to bolster his reputation. Again, he's a Hall of Famer. We all know that. But he has not pitched like this, period. Think about this, Dan. He hadn't pitched since September 24th. He wasn't on the roster for the division series. Toronto could have lost against the Yankees, and Max Scherzer would not have seen the mound. And yet, in their most pivotal start of the season, the first time the Jays are in the CS for the first time in 9 years, they turned to this 41-year-old grizzled veteran, and he shoved. He was brilliant. 2 runs in 5 2/3 of Max Scherzer at this day and age. That could be the last start of his career. Incredible.
Adnan, does this hat hold any sentimental value?
I hate this hat.
I feel like he bought
because,
it bought it worn. Like it's not like I've had this hat
I
so
don't,
long.
right before the segment started, I saw him do the move of like totally scrunching it up. I'm like, oh,
that hat sucks.
Now, Mike and Chris, you're absolutely right. It's my eldest son, Yusuf's hat. So Mike is right about the nostalgic value. He's now 17. He's had this hat forever. And I said,
I know, it still sucks. Like, that's fine. I wanted to know, like, what kind of nostalgia we were dealing with. Now that you've said that, hat sucks.
Barry Melrose territory, is this an acceptable
Hat
thing?
sucks, a dirty one.
It's not my best hat. The brim is brutal. You guys are absolutely right about that. It's a sad excuse for a hat. There's no question about it. But the Jays are not a sad excuse for an organization, at least.
One of the things that I enjoy about the baseball lexicon is when new verbiage gets thrown in. You just said he shoved, which I assume is short for he shoved the baseball up there. Like, and you guys now use this in baseball. Everyone says he shoved instead of saying the rest of the phrase. It is what it means, correct? When did that become okay in baseball for announcers to just be on the broadcast and saying, hey, he shoved that baseball right up their ass?
We'd have to check with our buddy Bookshaw, I'll be damned. But I'm going to say within the last 7 to 8 years, I've heard that more become a part of baseball parlance. What you're looking for tonight, I think he's going to shove. Another expression I only ever hear in baseball, I never hear it anywhere else, is the game got banged. Like, you know, my son's Little League game, no one says the game got banged tonight. But in baseball, if there's a rain out, they just say the game got banged. And everyone understands what that means.
So in basketball, there's a famous saying, it only takes one, right? When it means... Oh, how the hell is he going to fall that long in the draft, or who's going to draft him, or who's going to sign that guy to that deal? And the saying is it only takes one, meaning it only takes one team or one general manager to do it. But that's not the full saying. The full saying is it only takes one asshole. But they clean it up to it only takes one.
I didn't realize that shoved had been around for 8 years. Did you know that, Tony? Were you
It's
aware?
like a dealt kind of situation. Like, he's dealing right now. He dealt. He shoved.
Yeah.
The hat, are you a Blue Jays fan? Is your son a Blue Jays fan? What's the emotional investment in one of the better Blue Jay teams that we've seen in a long time, when I do believe that baseball and this country are rooting for the Mariners to be the team that represents the American League against the Dodgers?
Yeah, as you guys have said in the show, Dan, it's the U.S. versus the world. I understand this is a pro Mariners contingent here on the show, but you know, for the Blue Jays, I was just back home for, as we call it, Canadian Thanksgiving. And I got to tell you, I was there working for Amazon. You mentioned the Monday Night Hockey. I did the Leafs-Red Wings game, which they moved the game up for baseball. Think about that. This is Canada. Everyone says religion is hockey. No, baseball is running things right now. They moved the Leafs game to 2 o'clock Eastern, Red Wings Leafs, so everyone can watch the Blue Jays game at 5, which I was able to do with John Morosi and others. And the appetite for this team to win again, it's been a long time, Dan, since 1993, as you know. When those Blue Jays teams went back-to-back, they were the kings of the baseball world. They were the ones acquiring Dave Winfield or David Cohn or Paul Molitor, all these hired hands to go along with the nucleus of Roberto Alomar and Devon White and John Olerud. So it's been a long time since the Jays have been the envy of the baseball world. Everyone knows if they get there, they'd be the underdog against the Dodgers. But the ratings-wise, you know, I was looking at the numbers. Canada's a country of 35 million. They're getting numbers of 7 million. For example, that's NFL numbers. Like 30 million Canadians are watching if you extrapolate it in terms of the U.S. audience to Canadian audience. So there's a rabid appetite right now for the Blue Jays. I think people would love to see this team go deep north of the border. And even I think in this country, they realize what an exciting team this is. Dan, let's talk a little bit about Vladimir Guerrero Jr. What he's doing is unbelievable. This is a superstar whose 14-year, $500 million contract kicks in next season. And I say this to you as a long-time, lifelong baseball fan. What's more impressive, 5 home runs this postseason or only 1 strikeout? As you know, Reggie Jackson hit a lot of home runs. He also struck out a ton. That's what you get with power hitters, not with Vlad. 5 homers, yet only 1 K. That is remarkable bat-to-ball skills.
He also has this plate discipline that his father did not have as a great bad ball hitter. He's better than his father, is he not? And that's an impossible thing to say. His father's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, his father was incredible. As you said, the bad ball hitter and a different body than Vlad. Obviously, he was tall and lean and kind of flailing all over the place. But I think what Vlad Jr. is able to do, the way he punishes this baseball, if you look at exit feel in the sport, virtually no one aside from Aaron Judge hits the ball harder than Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Even if it's not always home runs, it's hard contact every single time. And to have that kind of discipline, it's amazing. Thank God the Jays locked him up for the next 14 years.
You mentioned, though, Canada and Canadian pride and how many people are watching this baseball team. I'm not sure that the audience really understands that Canada doesn't beat America at sports. Like, the Blue Jays are the only thing that beats America at sports, and it was a long-ass time ago. Canada loses.
Oh, the Raptors were
okay, but I'm saying when it comes to generational allegiances and who's the team that my parents are going to pass down, it's going to be the Blue Jays of Cito Gaston because Canada never gets to be better than America at sports. Fine, you chose the outlier, but the Blue Jays matter to Canada because the Blue Jays have made Canada feel like a winner. No one in hockey's done it.
No, there's no question about that. Canadian team has not won since 1993. The Leafs have not won the Cup since 1967. But Mike and Tony are right to at least mention the Raptors and Kawhi. 2019 was a massive moment for the country. We all know the impact that guys like Steve Nash and Vince Carter have had on basketball north of the border. But I would agree with you, Dan. People have asked me, what's a bigger deal? If the Blue Jays won the World Series or the Raptors winning in 2019, I would say the Blue Jays because that's a generational thing. Again, the Raptors was massive when they won, and basketball is huge, as Amin knows, north of the border. But I do think if the Blue Jays won, I mean, this would really just wrap up the entire country. It's huge.
It's all dwarfed by the Leafs, right?
How
the
quickly we forget Toronto FC's 2017 title reign.
The thing that triggered the thought for me, Adnan, is the idea of, while I'd forgotten Toronto's Raptors because Kawhi Leonard was a mercenary, the Vladimir Guerrero family is royalty in Canada, at least because Vlad Jr.'s dad is the one who made the Expos matter.
Right. And I'm still trying to figure out who killed the Montreal Expos. But I look forward to watching this Netflix documentary trying to get some answers on this. But, yeah, I mean, father and son revere. People forget, Dan, Vlad's Canadian. I'm like, no, he doesn't just play for Canadian team. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is a proud Canadian, and he is thrilled to be in Toronto. He's the emblem, the cornerstone of that franchise. From the Expos to the Jays, people love the Guerreros.
You just made a reference that made me think we've gone too long without talking to Billy Gill, who has a top 5 list of the things he will not miss from around here as he leaves. Adnan, as part of Billy's goodbye today, I cannot wait to hear how many OLIs this one has. Things that Billy Gill will not miss around here.
So it's the top 5 things that I won't miss from here. We have some OLIs, as you mentioned.
I can't wait to hear how many OLIs we have.
We have 34 OLIs.
Oh, God damn it.
I knew this was going.
Just a quick 34 OLI, and we get the top 5. Okay. All right, OLI number 34. Lamb for lunch 3 times a week.
That was kind of crazy. Roy eats all the lamb, by the way.
Lamb is great.
Roy eats all the lamb.
Lamb's not bad, but 3 times a week is excessive.
These ungrateful people, Dan. You're feeding them lamb. This is a luxurious meat.
Roy, you don't need 4. You don't
man.
need 4 lamb chops.
No.
I ate 2.
OLI number 33. Wondering where Stugotz is when he's supposed to be on a Zoom recording. OLI number 32. Wondering where Stugotz is when he's supposed to be in studio for a recording. OLI 31, just generally wondering where Stugotz is. OLI number 30, parking in one parking garage, running across the street and dodging traffic to enter our office in another parking garage. OLI number 29.
That's happened at 2 different places.
I know. OLI number 29, Tony's top 5.
You know what? Better than I thought it was going to be. I thought that was the top 5er for sure.
OLI 28, Samson.
Wow.
And I just, there's a lot of people out there. I just want to kind of get ahead of this. There's a lot of people out there saying, Samson's the reason that you're leaving. Samson's the reason you're leaving. They're tagging him, and it's this whole thing. Yeah. And, he's going through, all this stuff. And, please, he is the reason, but leave him alone. OLI number 27, Taylor. OLI number 26, Jeremy's songs. OLI 25, all of Tony's clearly made up stories.
I thought it was out unscathed there.
OLI number 24, lying to intrepid journalist Mike Schur about how normal the environment is during an interview for Slate magazine.
Oh, man.
Had no clue.
I thought he was in college.
OLI number 23, Gino. Keep an eye on Gino.
Things you're not going to miss. Gino.
Keep an eye on Gino. I'm telling
Bad egg.
On Gino.
Bad egg.
So hurt by that.
Gino Fuentes just took a
keep an eye on Gino.
Star of Football America?
He thinks he's got everybody fooled.
OLI number 22, talking about Pat McAfee. OLI 21, talking about Joe Rogan. OLI 20, talking about Shane Gillis. OLI number 19, Rose spilling her matcha every Wednesday and only on Wednesday. OLI number 18, asking Dan Patrick what love was like growing up for the 4th time because he didn't answer the previous 3 times. OLI number 17, keeping up with what's bothering Billy Corbin.
You too, huh? A little too low.
OLI number 16, Mike Fuentes pretending he doesn't care about anything while wearing a black Bass Pro Shop hat. OLI number 15, Mike Fuentes pretending he doesn't care about anything while wearing a blue Bass Pro Shop hat. OLI number 14, Mike Fuentes pretending he doesn't care about anything while wearing a green Bass Pro Shop hat. OLI number 13, Willow.
Number 1 for me.
OLI number 12, Mike Fuentes pretending he doesn't care about anything while wearing a red Bass Pro Shop hat.
After Willow.
OLI number 11, Jess burping in the makeup room. OLI number 10, that other dog Ethan clearly kicked. OLI number 9, Zazdo talking about his manner. OLI number 8, knowing Dan must have talked to Adam McKay recently because we spent 40 minutes debating whether or not we're going to die from the rising ocean water or the sky being on fire, even though those probably would have canceled each other out. OLI number 7, the U being back.
Getting out in time.
OLI number 6, Chris combining words.
Thought I was going to be missed.
Oh, no.
Curds. OLI number 5, pretending Amin's impressions aren't all exactly the same. OLI number 4, Lewis. OLI number 3, Lucy talking about Jasper the doll. OLI number 2, Jason showing me eating or yawning or playing on my phone while a vice presidential candidate is talking about how he'd fix the United States. OLI number 1, Robert Quinlan Costas.
All right, hold on to these.
Bobby Q.
I want to tease the 5 till later. Now that we've finally gotten to the 5 and made Adnan sit through all 5 while he's got
What's he gotta
hockey
do?
and baseball information that he wants to give to the American public. We'll get to Billy's top 5 before the end of the show. Also, Jeremy's saying that he wants to get in and say goodbye to you in a more loving fashion. We'll see if we get to that as well. I will remind people again that Adnan's book, Cinephile, Interviews, Essays, and Tales from the Red Carpet, is available now. Are you, like a lot of people, hoping that the Dodgers lose because you can't break baseball just because you got the best TV contract and you get into the playoffs for 13 straight years and you have all the best players?
Yeah, my main issue, Dan, it's not animus towards the Dodgers for that reason. It's just as a baseball fan, if I don't have a dog in the race, I want as much baseball as possible. So I'm cheering for the Brewers yesterday to make this a competitive series. Once it goes 3-0, I'm like, well, it's a fait accompli. This thing's done. So game 4 today, I guess if Milwaukee would like to extend the agony, I suppose we can do that. But then the series is going to be done in 5 and in rather short order. It's certainly frustrating for Dodgers haters, but at the same time, I applaud them for their excellence. Their starting pitching, Dan, this postseason has a 1.54 ERA. That is unbelievable in today's game. With so many people saying, well, starting pitching doesn't matter. It's all about bullpens. They said, no, we're going to go ahead and get the best starters available. And how about this? We're basically going to punt in the regular season. We really don't care about it. We'll coast and win the division. Maybe we'll win 90, 95 games. We won't be the number 1 seed. Who cares? Because come playoff time, Blake Snell will have thrown 70 innings. For Blake Snell right now, it's June 1st. He's as fresh as a daisy. He can throw 8 innings with no problem whatsoever. Yamamoto's been a horse for them. Ohtani, we don't even need him to start game 4. And Tyler Glasnow starts game 3. He's an ace on most teams.
Well, that's the thing I've never seen before. A team built in baseball for the playoffs is not something I have seen before these Dodgers.
Right. They clearly said to themselves, Dan, we don't care about the regular season. Even if we get in as a wild card, what do we care? It's all right. We'll win the division. We won't even have a bye. It's fine. We'll win no matter what because we have the starters. We have the horses. You know, offensively, they have not been a juggernaut. They scored 3 runs against the Brewers. They're scratching out some runs. Mookie Betts has been better. Ohtani's done virtually nothing offensively. Had a triple yesterday, his first of the postseason. He's been awfully quiet. It's guys like Tommy Edman stepping up. Your Max Muncy's, those ones getting timely hits. It's their pitching. And even the bullpen, Dan, which should have been a weakness, they just moved the starters to the bullpen. We don't have a closer. We'll get Roki Sasaki to be the closer. Great. No problem. He can get 3 outs for us.
This is good for baseball, right? For the Dodgers to be just a machine that keeps going back.
Well, it can't be good for baseball that the Dodgers are the new Yankees, that they are
It's great for baseball.
that they are just money. We will throw money at everything and everyone will drown in our money.
I'm torn on it. I mean, a part of me says, yeah, in any sport, if you have a team that feels dynastic, if it's either love them or hate them, that's good for the sport. If the Cowboys are rolling in football, if it's
Panthers.
Panthers in hockey, big win for the Flyers, by the way, Cody. Couturier, 2 goals, 2 assists. But I think ultimately, if you look at the sport, maybe back-to-back titles is good for the sport, to Amin's point. The Dodgers go back-to-back. LA's a huge, robust fan base. But then to Dan's point, if it goes 3 straight years, the Dodgers, and you're spending your way to a title, that causes a lot of acrimony throughout the sport.
You can't break baseball just because you got the best TV contract.
But do you fault a team for willing to do whatever it takes to win? Right? Back in the day, Dan, we'd applaud George Steinbrenner and say he cares about winning more than anybody. He'll spend $200 million. Are not the Dodgers following the same script?
I guess, except that I always thought that someone would and had a chance against the Yankees. What I'm watching from the Dodgers starting pitching, what I'm watching that Shohei Ohtani doesn't have to get a hit. It doesn't matter. Like, he can strike out all the time and they don't need it. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is funny when Shohei Ohtani's offense can become an afterthought. And we've seen it's well documented. When he pitches, his offense suffers. So I've been of the mind now, once you're up 3-0, you don't need Ohtani to start game 4. Like, now it's just a luxury. Like, now just it's fine. We'll start. We'll have a bullpen game. What the hell? It's okay. Clayton Kershaw can start. Billy's favorite, just for Billy's farewell.
Yeah,
Clayton Kershaw
that's what the Yankees never could do. Like, that the Yankees never had any of what you just said. Hey, we'll keep Babe Ruth in the dugout. We don't need him today. What kind of insanity is that?
Yeah, and listen, it's not going to get any better anytime soon. Like, if you're a Dodgers hater, all these guys are locked up. Like, imagine if Sasaki's actually healthy next season and pitches a full year. Imagine if these guys are actually healthy and pitch the full year. I mean, then they're even scarier. But it doesn't matter to them. Again, the regular season doesn't matter to the Dodgers. Doesn't matter to a lot of teams now. The extra wild card, you go, let's just get 85 wins and get in the playoffs and get hot at the right time. And so far, it's working to a T when it comes to this Dodgers script.
Adnan, thank you. We will talk to you soon. Appreciate all of the insight. Catch him, host of MLB Tonight and Amazon Prime Monday Night Hockey. Thank you, sir.
Love you guys. Billy will be missed. And by the way, I just want to read Dan's lovely blurb to me for Cinephile. Adnan Verk is ill, sick, troubled, diagnosed with acute Scorsese. His addiction to film is neither healthy nor sane. He really thinks the world needs more of his thoughts on movies. I hate that he's right. The great Dan Le Batard. Thank you.
Thank you, Adnan. We appreciate it. Can you get for me the last time Jeremy and what Jeremy's got going on, because he wants to get in on the show. It's crowded today. We want to get to our emotional goodbye to Billy, and Jeremy keeps trying to horn in on what it is that we're doing to talk baseball. And what are you doing in the bullpen, Jeremy? What do you have for us to honor Billy today?
No, Dan, I just really appreciate the space that Billy has provided for me to be able to talk baseball, to talk Marlins with him. I'm wearing a Marlins hat in his honor today, and it's because we had times talking about that team. I remember, when you swallowed him whole on that 2018 opportunity for him to be out at opening. Oh, what?
Shut up, Jeremy. Shut up, Jeremy. Please just wrap it up. You are not Billy.
Chris Cody, has somehow fallen in love with Joe Mazzulla. I don't know how you feel about Joe Mazzulla. I asked Nick Wright after Joe Mazzulla won the championship, a serious question. Is he a good coach? Still don't know. Why have you fallen in love with Joe Mazzulla?
Well,
Chris
his
Cody?
quotes are great. Like, he's just kind of like, I don't know. He's just got a vibe with the media. But this year, teams do this. We've played in softball games. Before seasons, teams do media games. Baseball does softball. And the Celtics, we're going to have a media game where media people play versus each other. And at the last second, Joe Mazzulla announced, not this year. This year, you guys are playing against coaches. So we have a B-roll here of them playing this game. It's harmless. You see Mazzulla there walking past midcourt, and he celebrates a basket here. And you think it's a game-winning basket, and this is like, wow, a close game. And you watch Mazzulla here. He gets a fist pump, and he fist bumps, and then they pan over. The coaches are winning 57-4. And it's just like, I love the fact that he's just like, you're not playing the media this year. You're playing the coaches. We're going to rock your ass. We're going to boat race you 57-4. And he's growing on me. I like Joe Mazzulla.
I like it.
Look, I think he's in the same place that Mike McDaniel was in. Difference is he won a championship. Mike McDaniel didn't. But it's still the same thing, which is all this cute stuff is cool when you're winning. All the quirky answers and a T-shirt says God, jiu-jitsu, and coffee and all that stuff is cool when you're winning. When you stop winning, the patience and the tolerance for all the quirkiness goes right out the window. And so this year, I think the Celtics are going to be good still. They still have good players. They added Anthony Simons, who I think is going to be really good for them. But it's like, we'll see how much appetite Boston has for them when they're not dominant, when they're not the best team in the league. Also, to Jay King of The Athletic, who was in that game and then wrote afterward, and he was so ashamed and embarrassed. I texted him. I said, I read it, and I said, pathetic article. Pathetic article, Jay King.
Did he have any of the 4 points?
You should have gone even harder. You should have roasted Mazzulla for bad decisions, wearing down his coaches with a full court press. Then I said, you got to double down, man, and don't let any of those coaches get injured this year. If they do, you immediately tie it into too many minutes during a meaningless game. And then afterward, he said, Jaylen Brown asked everyone, oh, does anyone want to do media? Ha, 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 ha. I said, when he says that, you say, let's do it. Because we're not like these little Gen Z sniveling whining. He's like, oh, I had a bad day, and now I have to talk to the media. It's part of your job. Man up.
How many points did you have scored?
Me?
Yeah.
You know what I would have done? I would have locked up Joe Mazzulla.
Wow.
Yeah, and
you would have said, no, I'm not even scoring tonight.
Yeah,
you're not scoring.
You're not scoring. And by the way, if he gets by me, I'm throwing something dirty.
Yeah, chicken wing.
A chicken wing. I'll let him know. We're not here. You know what? We're here to compete.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just here like, oh, my God, you guys
no easy
are so
ones.
good.
No easy ones.
Get out of here. Matthew Berry's here.
Hey!
Matthew Berry. Matthew Berry. Matthew Berry. Matthew Berry.
It ended quicker than I thought it was going to. There you go.
That's what she
Got to
said.
get the timing down.
Go ahead.
Oh, all right, here we go. In every game this season but one, the Detroit Lions have allowed multiple touchdown passes, and among their issues, deep pass attempts. They're bottom 5 in the NFL in both yards and touchdowns allowed on deep passes. Who do they play this week? Baker Mayfield, who, by the way, only one quarterback in the NFL has more deep pass attempts than Baker Mayfield. Start Baker. I don't care who his wide receivers are. By the way, other side of the ball, last week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have allowed at least 340 passing yards to an opposing quarterback in 2 straight weeks. Those quarterbacks, Mac Jones and Sam Darnold. Don't get cute. You're starting Jared Goff. By the way, in the 2 games since Braylon Allen went on IR, Breece Hall has gotten 82% of the Jets running back touches. I know you're like, the Jets are awful. But get this. 3 of the last 4 running backs to get at least 15 touches against the Carolina Panthers have scored at least 16 fantasy points. They've also given up 2 receiving touchdowns to opposing running backs. Don't get weird about it. You're starting Breece Hall. Okay. Over the last 4 weeks, no team has allowed more rushing yards per game or a higher yards per carry against to running backs than the Miami Dolphins. Dan, I'm sure you're aware of that. They've actually given up at least 20 fantasy points to an opposing running back in 4 of their past 5 games. Believe it or not, the Browns are actually favored in a game this week. So Quinshon Judkins should have a nice game against Miami. No team in the NFL has allowed more rushing touchdowns to running backs than the Tennessee Titans. They've, in fact, given up at least 1 rushing touchdown to a running back in every game this year. Believe it or not, Ramondre Stevenson has seen 83% of the Patriots' goal line attempts over the last 2 weeks. I think Ramondre gets in the end zone against Tennessee and Vrabel's revenge game. Over the last 4 weeks, only 2 teams in the NFL allow more fantasy points to opposing wide receivers than the Colts. Ladd McConkey has 5 red zone targets in just the past 2 games. The 3 games that Rashee Rice played last year, he had a 34% target share. Everyone in fantasy football has been waiting to get Rashee Rice off their bench onto the field. You know who else has? Patrick Mahomes. Don't get cute. You're starting Rashee Rice this week. For 3 straight weeks, Travis Hunter's route participation has increased. Last week, it was a season-high 86%. And Liam Cohen of the Jaguars said this week the team is making it a priority to design and call more plays in which Travis Hunter is the number 1 option. Last week, only 1 tight end ran more routes than Cade Otton. And with all the injuries to the Tampa Bay's pass catchers, Cade Otton saw a target share of 26% last week. Over the last 2 years, when Otton gets at least a 20% target share, he averages almost 15 fantasy points per game. And last one here, Dan, only 4 teams allowed more yards per game to opposing tight ends than the Miami Dolphins. They also give up the 7th most fantasy points to tight ends. David Njoku is banged up. This is a Harold Fannin week for the Browns.
Harold Fannon's good.
Matthew Berry. Matthew Berry. Matthew Berry. Matthew Berry.
Watch and stream full episodes of Fantasy Football Happy Hour with Matthew Berry, NBC Sports Peacock. Get personalized info and tools for all things fantasy and sports betting at fantasylife.com. I really can't believe what Matthew Berry just said. I saw 18 months of Patrick Mahomes be less than Patrick Mahomes because he didn't have his wide receivers. Matthew Berry's saying Baker Mayfield, don't care who his receivers are. Receivers do not matter. Take Baker Mayfield. What kind of insanity is that?
Baker has managed to, last week, Tez Johnson, Cameron Johnson, again, Cade Otton. You know, he made Emeka Egbuka is currently the betting favorite to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. We'll see because of the injury if that happens. But, Baker's just made everyone great. Baker's made everyone great. And Mahomes, I think, hasn't had to do that just because his defense has been so good over the last couple of years. And they've had people in or out as well. But, look, Mahomes is great. He's the GOAT. He's amazing. First ballot Hall of Famer. I get all that. But if I had an MVP vote and you took it today, Baker Mayfield's the MVP of the NFL.
Matthew, good seeing you. A total insanity, everything he just said. I cannot believe it's the middle of the season in 2025 and Mahomes needs receivers, but not Baker. Baker doesn't need receivers. Okay.
You disagree with that take?
No, I don't. I just can't believe that it's true.
Yeah. Look, but Mahomes has been good the last couple of weeks as well. I mean, again, Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown, he was missing Xavier Worthy for a few weeks. I think it's a fair criticism or question. He just I don't know. Baker's been playing better. It is sort of insane to think that.
No, it is. It's totally nuts. Matthew, thank you. We appreciate the time. We appreciate that you make it quick. Our apologies that the Zoom and the music left you totally vulnerable there, going as fast as you possibly could without the music you need to buoy you. We'll do better next time. Thank you, sir. We probably won't do better next time. If I'm being
Music drowns him
Why you
out.
gonna lie to
It's
him?
okay.
He gonna sit
It's a
here
Zoom
and
being
thing.
totally
lie
honest.
to the man.
We're going to have Billy's top 5 and the club. We're going to put it in the last segment and say goodbye to Billy in a way that finally gets to his top 5. 34 OLIs on things that he won't miss. I honestly thought it was going to be 1,034,000.
I thought my impressions sound different.